Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Let me tell you something, huh? Today, we got a special guest. Mr. Chris Haslam is joining us. How are you, bro?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very happy to have you here.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming, bro.
No problem.
This is amazing. Let's get right into cheese and crackers, man. What the fuck is you? What the fuck? No, I'm just. No, but dude, thank you so much for coming. Seriously, this is amazing. We've talked before, like maybe a year ago or something.
Yeah.
We were skating the park, and we're like, dude, you got to come on the show.
Yeah.
And finally,
You guys are busy.
Everyone's busy.
You're busy
Yeah,
too.
I
You're
am,
traveling
man.
around. You're doing all
Yeah.
kinds of shit.
Well, don't you live up north?
Technically, I think that's where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, but never,
Watsonville?
No, Vancouver.
Oh, you're back up.
But I was in Santa Cruz for a bit and then Watsonville for a bit. But my parents were in Watsonville, so I was just with them, and then I just travel around doing stuff like that,
Oh,
going to
okay.
friends' houses and stuff like that.
Okay.
Nice.
Come
What do
down
they call
here.
that? A nomad or something? Just somebody that just
A
goes
wayward-
around.
a wayward nephew.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. There you
See
go.
that plug?
Put a little @sign.
Yeah.
in
Give it a
there.
follow.
That's his Insta.
Yeah.
No, but you're from Canada though.
I am.
East Coast, Ontario.
I
No?
was born in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Yeah.
Would you go to Niagara Falls to just chill and?
Well, I
like,
was only there for like I don't even know, probably like a year or 6 months or something. I don't know.
Oh, of your
I was
life?
just born
Oh,
there.
you're born-
yeah. But
oh.
then we moved up a bit to like St. Catharines or something close to there. Like my time framing is not very good. I can't remember much. You know, I always think forward and not back, so I can't remember anything. You know what I mean?
Chris only knows Saskatoon and Regina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he knows.
Saskatoon.
Have you been?
I have. I did a demo there.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah, that's the only reason I know the name.
Yeah.
And Regina.
Regina.
They have a
Yeah.
good skate park there
I
too.
did one there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't on the same tour, were we?
No, this
Oh,
was my
okay.
first Dwindle tour. I did that.
Oh really?
Yeah, this is where I met like Louie and all these dudes.
Seriously?
Yeah. That's for a later story, you know?
Oh, we'll get into it. We'll
Yeah.
get into that. We'll get into that. So you grew up in like Singapore, right?
I grew up in Ontario, went like to Niagara Falls to about when I was like, Niagara Falls and then St. Catharines and like London, Ontario and all this stuff, like Southern Ontario until I was like, I think it was like 91. So I was turning 11 or something. And then from there, we moved to Singapore.
And how long were you in Singapore for?
I was in Singapore till, officially till 97 or 98, 98, because I think it was 17. I just graduated from Singapore.
Okay, so you were there 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, we were in we're in a Canadian school there, and we were permanent residents. And I think I had to come back. Me and my brother had to come back to London, Ontario, to go to school there for 2 years because in Singapore there was national service for permanent residents.
Oh.
So at 16 and a half or something, you have to go and register for national service for 2 years.
That's
Oh,
gnarly.
so you came back.
So we came back to Canada for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we went back to Singapore and graduated, and then I came back to Vancouver. So we flew the other side.
Right. So you dodged the service.
My parents stayed there. Me and my brother came back.
Well, they didn't have to serve. So
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Was it your parents that had like working? They were traveling a lot for work or something?
Yeah, my dad was a professor, like at a university, and
okay.
I think he met somebody and went to Singapore and met the people there at the university, and he was working at a University of Western Ontario in London, or close to London. I don't know where it is, but he he got offered a job, I guess, or applied for one, and he said, if we're going to move anywhere, we might as well move somewhere. So
Yeah.
we moved very far away, and we ended up there, and so I started going to high school there and stuff.
Oh.
Damn, dude.
Is that where you found skating, or did you?
90, end of 94, and I was 93 or 94, I started skating there. Yeah, I moved there in 91.
So you started skating like 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
Kind of a late bloomer, I'd
yeah.
say, a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Not that
nowadays,
that's
yeah.
what I'm-
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got
Like
babies with no kneecaps.
Yeah, well, you got like was 11? How was that kid that board sled El Toro? Was he 10?
Oh, I think it
Oh,
was 10 or something.
yeah, you guys. I
That's
wasn't.
insane.
I wasn't doing that when I was 10. You know what I
That's
mean?
wild.
I literally saw this, and I thought I was going to witness a gnarly slam.
slam. I know, me
yeah,
too.
Thought I was going to see a slam.
I know.
10-year-old slam.
Well, it's neck high on that kid, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
He's going so fast at it. Yeah, it's gnarly. You got to gap out on that thing.
Well,
You're that small.
he did slam on it though, didn't he?
Oh,
But he made it down,
He
though,
made
a
it
little bit.
down to
Yeah.
right. So how did you in Singapore? How did you even like? Were people skating out there?
Not many, no. They had like two shops. I think one was called Spitfire actually, and the other one was the Go Sport.
Oh,
And I started because me and my brother started because we kept seeing this French kid named Vuti skating around where we were. I mean, it was by the Canadian school down there. We used to live right next to the Canadian school, and this French guy used to skate around all the time.
Okay.
Mean Mongo push, and he was a heel flipper, so he did not a kick flip.
Mongo heel flipper.
Yeah. So we started hanging out with it. Well, seeing that guy, we got aboard, and then we started like meeting him and skating with him and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how it started. But I was doing sports, team sports and stuff, like everybody used to do in basketball and soccer. My dad's a big soccer dude, so I would play that all the time. But when we get into skating and it's personal expression kind of stuff, it took over.
Did you Mongo push?
I didn't Mongo push, no.
Even with the guy that was you were following his lead, you didn't even Mongo push. You like him?
You already knew it was wrong.
Right away.
You're wrong.
Wrong, buddy.
I didn't know anything. No, we didn't. Well, because there was, we were looking at videos and stuff still. Like we'd get the video. Keep in mind this was Singapore, like pre-internet and iPhone and Instagram, all that garbage. So we were like,
had these things called VHSs.
No, PAL. Yeah. So we couldn't get, all the good movies. We were only depending on what the shops got, like what Go Sport got. And they were selling a lot of like old 80s, Useless Wooden Toys is pretty sick, but like that kind of era.
Gotcha.
So when Mouse and like Gold, all these movies came, we didn't get those.
No.
Yeah, we got like one of my first videos was...
You were getting H Street. Like
No. Well, there was those.
Video show.
Yeah, there was those. Yeah, there was those. But we would get random ones like the Invisible video. Like,
How to juggle.
Yeah, Lavin was juggling. Yeah, those. and then the random... Yeah. And then the random, Donut Duty. The Thrasher video.
Yeah.
Or like... Dreams of Children was like, oh my God, that's a good movie.
I wonder why they were getting all these random, but not even the big videos.
No, like I didn't see any of the girl videos until like I moved to like later in my time in Singapore, like close at the end, like the late 90s and the 2000s when I went to Vancouver. Yeah, I didn't.
Did you even know those were companies at that time?
I knew them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
you just never saw the videos.
Well, because you can't watch them on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't like
download them.
Yeah, you can't get them anywhere.
Did you get all the magazines out there? Like all Trans Worlds?
No, not all of them. I would get some from, because my dad would go on trips places and he would get like Slam magazine and like Sidewalk Surfer. And
he'd pick stuff up for you.
Because he's from England, so we'd go back in England sometimes and bring back some of those mags. We'd get some mags, like older ones at the shop, but not like up-to-date ones.
So you were late. Everything was like...
we felt, well, we didn't know if it was late or not, because we were, it was just what it was. But looking back, we were, and we were far away. So that concept of, finding out what the hell they were doing in the magazine would be a long time. You'd literally have to wait for so long to see what the hell they did. If you even got that video. And if you didn't, you just had to forget about it because you didn't know what the hell was going on. So...
Crazy.
So it was pretty sick though. But it was looking back on it, it was an awesome time because there was no ulterior motives, to get in skating. You were just doing it to do it because being pro is like you're getting sponsored. Period is like it's a completely different planet.
Yeah, right.
There's no way of reaching it.
Farthest thing from your mind.
Yeah. So we just forgot about it and skated, and that was like. To me, that's how it should be, really. Oh,
absolutely. But who is it, like, when you came back to the States then, or no, sorry, you went back to Canada.
I moved from Singapore to Vancouver, so we went from the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we left. When I went back, I went back to London, Ontario, did the school thing, went back to Singapore, graduated, and then we moved to Vancouver.
But Vancouver was up on the Times now. Now you're seeing everything.
Well, when I was in Singapore, me and my brother were like, so the white kids, the local white kids that were like pretty good, like cool, And then we got like we were skating mini ramps and stuff, and like it was doing what we were doing, and then we moved to Vancouver. and it was like, oh my God, we're like this big in this massive thing. Like I moved there like in Richmond. We lived in North Van first, so I kept seeing like Moses and Sluggo and
Sick.
McCrank and Jake Stewart and all these dudes skating. And I was like, oh my God, I am so far behind. You know what I mean? So it was like a huge reality. Even though I wasn't like thinking about how good or bad I was in singing. When I went there, I was like, it was humbling.
These guys are on a different level.
Yeah, they were just on a completely different level than I was.
Did that spark you to try to catch up with them and do?
Well, yeah, I mean,
obvious.
Yeah, because when you see someone that's like of a better caliber than you are, it even if you get motivated, but you learn from them, even though you don't think you are.
Yeah.
So it got me sparked just to see the difference in level, because I mean they were way better.
Were you like filming stuff already at that point?
No.
So you were just having fun skating, came to the scene, you're like, holy shit.
I mean, I was skating like 12 hours a day, like all the time, and doing what I was doing, and like, trying to learn stuff and learn what I was doing with my homies and trying to learn there. But they were just the way, when you watch somebody you'd never seen before and you watch them and you're like, they just look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
How they stand and how they push and how where their weight is. They were all like that. And I felt like I was, I had a shaved head and like tearaway pants and some Atlanta
hip hop Haslam.
Yeah, like Reeboks on or something. You know what I mean? Like, even though I never listened to hip hop, by the way. I was like, I just felt like I was like all over the place,
like wobbly and just
weird moves, and like I should take that back. I hadn't started the weird moves yet. I was doing I was just trying to do moves, learn as much as I can as fast as I possibly could do it. But
growing up in Singapore, you're kind of like off the grid. Were you like learning tricks and not knowing what they were?
We would do, I remember my brother doing we would have our own names for it, we would think we know what they were, like the hard flip. We was like, oh, that's an impossible, because it's impossible. And then, somebody would do the, because in Singapore, there's like a lot of Navy ships would come in there sometimes. So there would be guys that brought their boards. So every once in a while, for like 2 weeks at a time, there'd be some guy from like England coming in who was just like impossibling and like get hard, like frontside flipping down 6 stairs and stuff. And you're just like, oh my God, what is this dude doing? So he would go because he had other stuff to do, like on the ship and stuff.
Sure.
And then we would just be like, oh my God, remember when so we would have
trying to emulate what he was doing.
Yeah, me and some of the homies, because we were just some guys from everybody was there. Some guys from Sweden, Germany, Malay, Indonesian, Singaporean. We're all just trying to do. I mean, again, the permanent residency thing really, I think, set some of the dudes back that I was skating with, because they had to do it.
Oh.
Right.
So when I left and came back, they weren't skating as much because they had to
go into the service.
Yeah. They were still skating, but it wasn't like, I mean, I dove right in because I was in Vancouver. In Ontario. So I was constantly doing it all the time. So when I went back, it was like a different. Me and my brother were on like a different level, because we were just doing it all the time. In London or in Canada, our driveway was huge. We'd build our own, the Thrasher ramp plans we got.
Oh, seriously? You would build it?
Yeah. Well, we had a three-car garage. It was in rural Ontario. We had like 3-car garage, in snow. We'd build it all inside the garage and skate it in there.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. And
folks would have to park outside, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was awesome. And then we went back to Singapore, and all the rails and stuff were like, not even waist high.
Mm-hmm. Small
rails. So we'd start trying to do those, and at the time it was when Michael Fay got arrested for vandalizing. This American guy got arrested for vandalizing cars, Mercedes-Benz.
I remember that.
So they were on.
It was a big scandal.
Yeah, he was going to get Bill Clinton.
He's going to get caned. Yeah.
What happened?
He like spray painted, I think, a bunch of Mercedes-Benz, like whatever, and then he got busted. And I heard they just barged, because I had friends at my school that knew him, and I guess they just barged into the class he was in at the American school there.
Grabbed him.
And was like, yeah, you're coming with us. And then he was supposed to get caned and stuff. But around that time, they were on high alert for white dudes vandalizing property.
Here you are skating down some
because,
small rails.
Well, not even that. We were trying to. you
Yeah.
know? So like we were skating ledges, but the paint marks on the boards and all that. So I was always like sketched on that. Like the cops would always show up. We'd try to run away, but I would never run away because I'd like, if I run away, they're probably going to catch me. You know, scared white kid. You know, but yeah. So we at 14 we're getting frisked by Singaporean police for trying to board slide a rail that's like but when I came back, like I think I went back to Singapore a few years ago when I first started getting sponsored, and I was I'm gonna slaughter all of these spots. And I went there and they were like, all the rails have been moved, they've changed, so they're like neck high now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this sucks.
Why are they changing all the That's weird.
You know what I thought it was?
Yeah.
Is because our generation, it was when McDonald's and they used growth hormones. So I think that's what it was.
You think of it?
Well, because every kid that I knew, like even myself, they're eating McDonald's and these hormones or whatever all these in these food that you're eating. I was eating tons of McDonald's when I was there because I wasn't into any sort of rice or anything like that. So, which sucks because that food was like $2.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know, and the McDonald's was probably blown out.
You don't like rice?
I didn't.
Oh.
I do. I eat now. Yeah.
Heard that before.
I've come a long way.
Yeah.
You used to have a fucked up diet at one time, huh?
Well, I had it for a long time, yeah. But then I stopped eating a lot of stuff, so that I'm pretty repetitive with stuff that I do, minus my skating. Obviously, we were just talking about before.
Yeah.
And food was like, I don't care. I just need it for something to get me going to the next spot.
Fuel.
Mm.
And if I can eat the same thing every day for a long time. So I had to, it just so happened that everything I was eating was garbage.
Oh God.
So like pizza, like I love pizza.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like, you know what I mean?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
But are you going to like a good pizza place or are you going to like
I don't-
Little Caesars?
I don't
7-Eleven.
care. Yeah.
No, you don't.
I didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
What was your favorite? Pizza Hut, Domino's? What are we talking
Tombstone?
about? Like if you had your choice.
well, this is
DiGiorno?
Canada and Singapore. So Singapore was mostly McDonald's because their pizza was
Gotcha.
kind of Pizza Hut, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
When I went to Canada, it was like this place called Panagos I used to eat all the time. It was awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'd eat Pizza Hut. I lived by a Pizza Hut. I ate that too. But I stopped for and then when I turned like 30 or something, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm stopped eating bread and cheese for a while.
Gotta cut it out.
I stopped it for like a year or something, and I started trying to eat other stuff, and then I slowly now it's moderate. You know, it's not like every day. It's like
It's like a treat when you go and get,
yeah.
It's like a
I
special.
try to make it like that. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna have it again, but I don't know. You know.
So when you get into Vancouver and you see all this, you see Moses and McCrank and all this stuff, and then you start skating. You try to start skating or level up, right? You try to skate better and everything. Did you get sponsored out there? Was this
in
skate shop or maybe?
Yeah, the
or
first sponsor I got was this place called the Boarding House.
boarding house.
It was a skate shop run by John Raimondo, and some of the dudes that were on there were all riding for it, like Jeff Logan and all these dudes that were like the dudes back when I was growing up. Phil Medwin and all these dudes.
Okay.
And I got sponsored back because they were in Richmond too. Richmond is just south of Vancouver by the airport.
Gotcha.
So I lived literally across the street from the skate park, which is why I was there all the time, which is why I could spend 12 hours there and just walk home, So I was there all the time. And then the shop was in Richmond, just like around the corner the other way.
I mean, a skate shop. You're giving them footage, or it's just word of mouth?
Yeah,
and
it was
you're hanging around.
Yeah,
there.
I was just hanging around. And I was they knew that I could do some stuff, and it was just getting discounts and here and there.
Sure.
And I would always be in the store as well because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Go to skate stores and
We'll
hang
watch
out all
skate
day.
videos and hang out.
Yeah, when you came back and started skating in Vancouver, when you started watching all these new videos, were you tripping out on what was going on in skating at that time?
Well, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
because you hadn't seen it yet, really.
Well, I mean,
so.
we watched videos. You know, what I mean, like the video, we knew generally what was going on and stuff because of Jamie Thomas's and the Tony Hawks and Rodney and Rodney's moves and like Plan B Secondhand Smoke was amazing.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean,
Yep.
that Rodney part was like, I would love that part.
Yeah, it wasn't like you were totally in the dark.
No.
It was like you knew.
But when I got to Vancouver and I was going to the boarding house and hanging out and watching the videos that they had, I was like, oh my God. It went from like this to like whoosh, and everything like, old, like the Powell videos and like everything that's up to date to everything that was in the 80s and stuff, you know? And it was watching like,
it's almost like you were starved to death of skate videos and finally get your fill.
Yeah. And just getting to know dudes like, Neil Blender and like how he skated and like getting to know dudes like Laban and Billy Pepper and all these, all these dudes that I never knew of, and Stevie Williams in the Underworld video, that kind of, so it was, I was just opened up to all that stuff, which was good. Yeah.
Who was your first sponsor? Like legit board sponsor?
First legit, like Flow, or first like.
Okay. Flow. Freeboards.
Freeboards was World Industries through Center in
Center Distribution.
Yeah, with Sluggo and those dudes, because that was the. Well, I got on because Boarding House went out of business. I think they got like robbed a few times, and then they just couldn't do it. And they went out of business, and then I got on RDS.
Red Dragons.
I was.
You ever
really?
We're sitting with the Red Dragon.
An old one.
Okay.
For a short time. I was in the video. I was in the first video they had.
Seriously?
What? I did a few. Well, you might not.
Part, did you?
I had like maybe 8 tricks or 6, but you can't. I'm different. I'm like I had to hide. Yeah. But I got on. Yeah. No, I never did that. But I did get a pendant though, and I was pretty psyched on that. But there's maybe 1 or 2 photos floating around the internet of me wearing the pendant.
The pendant.
So there's evidence of me having one.
Wow.
But so I got on RDS, and that opened the door to DC and World Industries. But before shoes, DC, I was writing, because Ultimate Distribution is in Richmond too with Kevin Harrison. I got on Momentum wheels.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had a pretty good relationship with Ultimate dudes and what they distributed. So Kelly, at one of the Slam City Jam barbecues, Muska had a barbecue at the Richmond Park where I was all the time. So everybody showed up, and I had that park like
nailed.
Yeah. I could do it with my eyes closed, that park. Right. So I was skating it, and Kelly, one of the dudes at Ultimate, was like, because they distributed Action, so he started giving me Action shoes.
Wow,
that's tight.
Then the Boarding House went out, and then RDS, and then I got opened up to the DC and World things from Art Center, because that's what they distributed.
I mean, you're already starting off on a good track with all some of the best companies.
Well, I'll tell you, it from when it didn't, because I was putting videos. This was around the time when I started filming stuff and I did it with my friend George and Adam Cassidy. They were helping me film videos and stuff like that, and I'd make sponsor me videos and try to send them out. I'd send out tons, but just crickets.
Nothing.
Never.
Broken.
It takes time,
put music to
I'm going to come back to. I'm going to come back to this in a second.
Okay.
Were they PAL tapes?
No, these were VHS. I was in Vancouver.
Why isn't anybody calling me back?
I was in the Well, after a while, I was like, it's just Ghost, and I was like, you know what, this sucks. Like, what the hell am I doing? Like,
I'm
not gonna wait.
Discouraging.
I'm gonna wait around for this crap. I'm just gonna do what I do. So I was going to school at the time in Capilano College. It was a college at the time, not a university. So I was going there. I was in North Van, so that's like an hour drive from where I was, and then I'd come back and go skate for 8 hours, and then I'd go sleep and then go. So
you drive an hour to college, then an hour back, and then go skate.
Yeah. Well, I was 18.
I know, but still.
I mean, and I only wanted to skate. I didn't care about school. I was just taking. My parents are both educators, so they. I was like
pressured a little bit.
I don't know about pressure, but I felt like I needed to have something. To be working toward, instead of just aimless goals to crickets.
Right.
So
it seemed like it at that point.
At that point,
Sure.
But I'll tell you, when it did started happening, it went really quickly.
Did it?
Yeah. Everything started going really, really fast.
Huh.
Yeah, and I just am on the ride still.
still. But so it was Action. Then you went in. Then you moved over to like DC Flow, World Flow.
Yeah. And then
Momentum.
Actually, when I got my first Action package, this is a cool story. When I got my first Action package, it was like 3 pairs of shoes. After that barbecue.
Okay.
I went and he gave me the 3 pairs. I put one of the Guy Mariano running shoes.
The Aries.
Yeah, those were goods, right?
The Aries, the one with the toe cap on it.
It had like a little wrap on the front.
Yeah.
Those were good. I put those on. And I was like, oh, these feel awesome. And then I put the other 2 in my car.
Okay.
And I drove home and I went upstairs and take them out of my car. And then I came down the next morning and my car had just been smashed open.
No.
Everything stolen, all the shoes.
Yeah, right.
All the shoes stolen. And I was like, oh my God.
Did they just go after the skate shit, or did they like? Was it a whole
trunk
radio?
Open?
Everything?
No, not radio. Everything that was loose. The trunk open. Everything in the trunk gone. The shoes gone.
Do
Everything.
you think it was a coincidence, or do you think somebody?
I have no idea. I was like, are you kidding me?
Maybe it was Moses.
So you gave that guy shoes?
No.
Give them back.
This is
Maybe it was
before.
McCrank.
This is before.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is before that. Yeah. So then
Damn.
I had to go back and it was like a sheep, just like, oh, I got my shoes stolen.
And you're almost thinking like, is he going to believe me?
Yeah, he's like, you're already a scumbag.
Yeah,
Just
like-
steal my shoes and sell them. No, so that happened, and then
So they gave you more shoes.
they did.
obviously.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did. And then and then it went to a while later. It went to DC and World and stuff like that.
Because like, we always talk about on the show, like everything's in the United States, and then being a Canadian and going through a distribution flow and trying to get on. Some people have an easy road, and some people have a struggle.
Yeah.
It's like a long road. And you said it went quick.
Again, it's about luck really, and who you know, and
Sure.
timing.
Yeah,
and
it's all
if
of it.
it's
Even
gonna,
here in the U.S., it's the same thing.
yeah. If
know?
it's gonna work, it'll work. No matter what happens. And I sent out numerous videos, different videos, 3 sets of them. Like I made one, it sent out like 20 of them, nothing. Then made another one, sent nothing. Made another one, nothing.
Did you have your eye on a certain company, or were you just going for?
No, I was just like, I'm going to
just
send it
whatever.
to Girl. I'm going to send it to, I don't know, Enjoy, or whatever. I didn't care. And then, I never got anything back because I was just like, renegading it. Just like, let's do it,
Sending it to Girl, but he's riding a fucking world board or something, right?
Well, at the
All the
time,
team managers were talking like, you got that tape? Yeah, I got that tape.
yeah. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the time, a lot of the Canadian dudes that made it out into the U.S., like Mike Hasty and all, and they went through the same program. They went through the RDS and the World Industries and the DC shoes,
Okay.
So that seemed to be the route to go. I mean, he was, those dudes are more homies and tied in with that scene, the center scene, and like the RDS thing that was going on. What I mean? I was kind of on the outskirts of that whole thing. You know what I mean? So they had, I think they might have had an easier route because they had the in with like Colin, they had Colin McKay's, they had the Sluggos and Moses's.
Yeah,
and
a lot of those dudes were like especially Colin was like going back and forth from San Diego.
Yeah.
So that was a big in for them to go down there.
Yeah, and that's when Colin was like, nollie flip back tail, big, big. That's when he was. DC killing it, Dave. You know what I mean? So they had a lot of pull. So I think that's how they got there. But I was like on the outskirts, so I was doing it pretty much by myself, like with my friend George and stuff like this, and like going and going and going.
Gotcha.
And that was I filmed some of the stuff in the first RDS video. I think I was a World in DC in that because I was completely shaved, nothing, like picked.
Okay.
And then I knew Kelly Jablonski from Ultimate because of Momentum, and I'd go in all the time because it's near my house. And one day he told me he asked me, it was like, if you trust me, and not in these words, but if you trust me to help you get on anything that we distribute out of Ultimate, would you be willing to leave the World in DC?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I thought about it, and I was like, sweet, this is going to be the end of it already. It hasn't even started. So I was like, all right, I'll try.
But wait a minute. At this time, World Industries, who was it? The Haida World? Who was on?
No,
it was
this was the height. The Sluggo, I think, because I remember putting Sluggo, the breakdancing kid sticker. I remember putting that on. So that was at that time.
So it was when it still Dwindle.
Chad Fernandez.
Yeah.
Still Dwindle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was
maybe
before.
Chris Cole. Was Chris Cole at that time?
No, he was.
Enjoy.
Well, he was. I don't know where he was at that time. He might have been on World. He might have been in the same program I was, but just on.
Oh, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
He
yet.
wasn't. No.
Okay.
He comes up later though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Not like terrible, but so Kelly told me he asked me if I would be, if I could do that. So I did end up leaving World and DC. I was like, oh God, this is.
What was his plan for you?
Well, he didn't have a plan. He was like, who do you, they don't even, the actual DC.
They don't know that you're on flow. Like,
well, they don't know who I was.
Distributor flow.
Yeah. Tearaway pant guy, you know what I mean? Like,
right. We've gotten his video a couple times.
Enough of those guys on the team too.
Yeah, no, they all look the same at that point. But I got, Kelly was like, who do you want? Mm-hmm. We do Dwindle. We do all this stuff. We do like Powell and yada, because Kevin Harris and whatever. And so I left I left World in DC, and I was like, I want to ride for Enjoy. This was the MJ Mayhew Rodney was on.
Oh yeah.
This was that time.
Yeah.
And Puglia was on there too, yeah?
He was on there. He might have been on. He was on Enjoy. I don't know if he was on that time.
Oh, okay.
He could have been. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, this is what I want. So I made a video in Skate Canada video. There was a video in Canada. I had a series called Skate Canada. I was in like the 9 whatever issue I was in, and I was wearing like yellow Enjoy t-shirts because I was getting them through Flow.
Right.
He gave one of the videos I had. This was the kickflip blip slide kickflip out video, the demo video that had that move in it. Because I did a kickflip backflip kickflip out in a contest somewhere, and I made like a terrible demo video with that trick at the end of it, whatever. And it had that move in it, and he sent it to Dwindle. But the guy that he knew at Dwindle, probably the best I think, was this dude named Vince Krauth.
And he ran Deca.
And he ran Deca, but he gave the video to him, and I don't even know, because this is when Chris Cole just got on. Like I think he got announced like a week after I sent the video. Whatever. So then it was like, and at the time, Chris and I were, we were like, our fashion gear was like craze, and I was, and Joy was like weird with like, dude, he's Canadian, whatever. The tricks were sort of similar. Like, I mean, his tricks are crazy, but mine were just like, whatever. And then, he got on, so he got announced, and I was like, God damn it.
Like, I'm never going to get it.
Yeah,
this is not going to happen.
There's no way, because he's like, I felt like he was like at another level than I was, you know what I mean? Like no slide, no heel down rails and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, geez, I can't do that. But I don't know what happened, but I don't even know if Enjoy even saw my video. And I think Vince might have just been like, hey, Day One, look, here, check this kid out. Oh. And then whoever said yes, whoever gave me the opportunity and said yes, like that's the moment that it went crazy. It went like, everything went super fast.
So what did you start getting, like Deca boards, like straight through?
I started getting boards at Ultimate first, and then I got a call from Kelly, and then Vince called me and was like, you want to come down? And this was probably, I don't know, a month or 2 months after. So I went down.
They flew you down?
Yeah. And I got picked up from the airport by Vince in his red Mercedes, whatever. Okay. And he was like, "Oh, you're gonna fail at this because you, 1, got your flight, and 2, you're on time." So it's already bad.
You're not even.
You're done. Yeah. And then and that was that week. I was down for a week, and I filmed most of that stuff in the warehouse for the Deca video.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
And that week?
That first week I went down in the baby blue T-shirt, and like, you know what I mean? And the second day I was down there, Rodney came in and put me on Tensor. Right, like pretty much the same day.
Oh wow!
Wait, so you're skating at this warehouse, and are all these people around? Like Day One's
there. Sue's in and out. Shiloh, I met Shiloh. I was like terrified. Wow. Shiloh, he peer pressured me to do that switch ollie at the end over the crane.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. I was like this nervous little white kid trying to. Shiloh comes up with like one finger or whatever he's got on, and then he's like, "You gotta do that." And I tried to, and I did it, whatever. But Rodney came in and Lou was like, "You want to get some trucks from Tensor?" I was like, yeah. And then I shot my ad for Tensor, the tail slide kickflip out on the grip tape boxes. A couple of days later. So I had a Deca ad and I had a Tensor ad in like the first week.
Are you just tripping? What do you?
Well, then I flew back to Canada.
Like, what just happened?
And I was like, I have to go to school again, you know, like what the hell is going on? This is like weird. And then I went down again, and I don't know if I shot my Deca ad the first time I went down or the second time, but I had the Kalis's on. I still work for DC though.
Oh, you still did? Okay.
I still was getting DC because I had Kalis shoes on, the white ones with the red.
Oh yeah.
Those are super good. Those are good. I love those. So I had those on, and I had basketball shorts, and I 360 flipped off this this shelving unit, and it says Deca, and he said like some garbage like remember this name or whatever, and then it was me with a shaved head 360 flipping. But it was like it was like the ghost sequences they used to do, like
yeah.
So then that was it, and then I was on Deca and I was on Tensor. Like in like a week.
What happened to RDS?
Wait, just before the second video, the one where they're on the boat and homie Jason Ellis is like ripping the heart out of a shark or whatever.
Okay.
Before that, they were going to go on that tour, and I guess they were trying to get funds for it. And I was like, well, like, am I going to go? Can I go on that thing? And they're like, yeah, well, you need a certain amount of money to go on it. And I was like, I am not paying that much money to go on that.
Oh, it was
tour.
a lot of money.
It was like a couple grand, it was like $2,000 or something.
Jesus.
And I was like, I'm not paying that much money. And then I like sat back and thought about it for a week or so, and I was like, you know what, I'm not on the same program anymore. You know what I mean? So then I left RDS pretty soon after. So, and then that video came out, and I was like, I'm definitely not on the same wavelengths. You know what I mean?
You got the pendant?
No. Who?
You're not wearing it right now?
No, you're.
The tattoo.
Yeah, no, I don't have a tattoo either. I did have a pendant before.
Yeah.
And Nixon made those RDS player watches with the red dragon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I had one of them too, but I don't know where that is anymore.
Dude, when that video came out, like people were talking about that video. That was nuts.
Well, the first video, Paul Macnow.
Oh yeah.
His part in that video.
Him and Ryan Smith.
Dude.
Yeah.
The Ozzy Osbourne song, right? It was the RDS, the first RDS video. He's like two songs, and like the last one's like all slow mode, and he front noses that enormous hair,
long ass freaking like yellow rail or something. I don't know what it was.
It was like, besides the glow part that he had, one of his best parts to watch.
Oh yeah,
his glow part was just shocking.
Ryan Smith front side flip nose grinds on this big ass hubba.
Yeah,
and
that was in Montreal, right? That one in Montreal.
I think so. I'm not too good with the Canadian spots.
Yeah, he was amazing too.
Hell yeah, dude, came out swinging.
So you go back to Vancouver, and you must. Well,
what was fun was, it wasn't too bad of a conversation, but. Eventually they started asking me to go on trips and stuff, and this is the trip across Canada where I met Louie, and they went to Saskatoon and Regina and stuff. Yeah. It's in the Deca video. That's the one in the Deca video with JB, and Marcus, I think was on it. Marcus McBride.
Second to None video?
Yeah. Marcus McBride was on it. Louie was on it. I met I can't remember who else was on it. But yeah, anyway,
did you tell Louie, like, I actually wanted to be on Enjoy? This is
No, I was, I'm like, dude, I'm doing it. This is like, I don't
Day
care.
one wasn't that. He didn't really tour a lot, I felt like. I feel like he just kind of, yeah.
He never.
We've been recently with Adidas. He's been going on places.
Shire knows how to get him out of the house.
Yeah.
But I feel he wasn't really going on these tours and stuff.
Well, yeah, at the beginning, every opportunity I had to do something, I did it because, it was so far from what I thought I would be doing.
Yeah.
That I was like, I'm
do it.
I'm not wasting this time. Somebody gave me an opportunity, and I'm not wasting it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna maximum. If I don't get paid any money, or if I suck, or if I get hurt, I'm still going. If they're gonna pay me to go to across Canada or go to whatever, China or Saskatoon or like Panama City was the next one.
Okay.
I'm going.
Of course.
I don't care. And if it means missing school, I'm going to be like, I'm going to miss the class because I'm going.
But I'm sure too, like your parents, like they were educators also, but then probably they also realized that like, hey, this guy, our son has a chance to travel the world.
Yeah.
My
dad was, he was super good at soccer. I think he was like he played for England, like under 21 or something in the 70s or something. So he was in line to maybe try and become a soccer player.
So he kind of had that in him too. That whole like follow your.
To an extent, he knew what it felt like, but he took the other route the education route, because it was a more reliable source of income. Because I guess his mom, he grew up in a kind of a not so rich lifestyle. So he was like, I'm not going to make my family.
He went for the guarantee.
Yeah. So there was a certain extent of understanding of what I was trying to do here, but he also was like, I know how it is, not skating, but that decision, you need something to fall back on.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I was like, oh man, but I can't go to school and like, I'm going to do, I got one chance to do this. You know what I mean? Like not many people get two chances.
Right. You went for it.
I went. I mean, they went for it. I mean, they trusted me, and they had my back the whole time. So I went for it. Yeah, and I think when they met, years later, when they finally met, who I surrounded myself with, and the level of people the level of people that they are.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, then
this is great.
You're in good company. So
sure.
You know what I mean? Especially when Rodney, like I don't even know what he says half the time, but it's like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure they had a great conversation.
Well, they used to talk all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, when round 3 came out and there was a premiere in Toronto, I think my parents were living in Michigan and they went up instead of me because I was in another country. So they went in my place and they were,
no way.
That's where they met Rodney, and then my dad and Rodney would talk all the time.
That's amazing.
About educational things. And
that's sick.
So, yeah. So once they figured that out, then it was like,
yeah.
But I mean, still, they're like, all right. Even now, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, what are you doing? Because you're coming to you're almost 40,
what are you
you're not going to be like nose blunt sliding 15 stairs anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the video part you just came out with was fucking incredible, bro.
Well, I think there's no lines in there. Well, how many tricks does it make to take a line? What is a line to you guys? More than 2?
A trick and a push.
I think it's more than one.
Is it 2 tricks? Is it 2 tricks?
2 tricks.
That's a line.
That's a line?
Absolutely.
I'm taking that. So then I got 2 lines in there.
If I'm pushing up to the ledge, that's a line.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, but half of it or more than half consists of tricks that have never been done. So, or thought of either.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. I don't ever like claiming that because I don't know. You know what I mean? Because
it's possible someone did it.
You know what I mean? It may be visually seen by majority of people, but this whole idea of being able to make tricks up these days is nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
but you were doing it.
You did it. I don't know how you thought of that stuff, dude.
Well, I mean, it stems from videos that I watch. Like a lot of Julio de la Cruz underflip videos.
Right.
New Deal videos, and maybe
Julio.
There's
Rodney Mullen's got a big influence.
Well, being associated with Rodney and Day One, skating with those dudes, changed my whole skate program that I was on. Because in the round 3 video, it was a mixture of me, before, like the whole thing, and then and then after, when I'd had time to skate with Rodney and learn what these dudes do and how they did it. And it was a combination of both of those things. The new way that I was that led me to where I am, to that people know what my skating is, to what then the other stuff that I had before mixed together. And so Rodney and Day One definitely directed me, not that they knew it, but they directed me in my skating to where I am now.
That's amazing.
Was Jamie Thomas a big influence on you at all? I kind of see some footage
at the beginning. When I first moved to Vancouver, because Invisible. He was in the Invisible video that I watched religiously with my brother. So he was my brother's favorite skater for years. So I would watch all, and dude, Welcome to Hell, come on. And so I would see all those videos, and I was like, yeah, this is it. Well, that's why in the video, I was skating rails and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one thing with the video, Jamie Thomas did inspire me to skate rails and be, do that sort of stuff. But then with the video, the round 3 part, there were 2 moves in there that kind of were level for me. And the one was the kickflip Smith grind on the Hollywood high rail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the first one was in a line at the very beginning where I blunt slid a board
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
At that spot in like Pasadena, I think.
Yeah. I blunt slid the board, and that was a line I didn't want to put in there. Because I was like, well, one, it pissed me off because it took so long, and I wanted
feel like that you would want to put it in. If
well,
it took so long.
well, it was just like, oh god, this is I'm blunt sliding some dude's board. And, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then like one of the last minute things I did was add that in there. I was like, just put that in there.
Okay.
Just because it's kind of a good intro. It's not nothing too crazy.
Sure,
And the reaction that I got from those two moves, the blunt slide on the board and the kickflip Smith grind, they were like, you know, the one guys, like the gnarly dudes, were like, oh my god, the kickflip Smith grind.
Yeah.
But then every little kid everywhere else was like,
Oh yeah.
dude, that blunt slide thing you did. And the reaction I got from that is, in my mind, changed kind of like where I was going and how I thought about what tricks I did and what moves I did. I didn't need
Fun gnar.
Yeah, I didn't need to die on the rails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had you know, I could do this sort of stuff and still have the same impact as this, but I'm not terrified to go skate every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad you chose the route, dude, because I wanted to talk about some of the tricks you did in that new video, you know, but I don't know any of the tricks that are called, so I can't talk about them.
Exactly, dude.
I mean, bro, like, as Kelly said, like, your mind is totally
Well, I
fucked. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't say that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, these tricks that you're coming up with, it's like, who's thinking of this? Like, it's crazy,
well,
Chris.
that's again, because being associated with Rodney and learning from Rodney and how he makes his videos, and even with Day One, like the level of skating Day One's at is on another planet. You know what I mean? And you know, the tricks that they do, you know, the tricks that Rodney does, like.
Oh yeah, take a lifetime to learn.
You know what I mean? They're on a different level, and it's never the same.
Right.
You never want to, like, why would I want to do this? I mean, again, I was saying before, I can watch Reynolds do a frontside flip every day.
Yeah.
All day.
All day.
But I feel like I frontside flip like Reynolds. And I want to do it every day.
Yeah.
But I don't look like I frontside flip like Reynolds. So I don't do it every day. So I do it. So I don't I make a video part. Why would I put the same trick I had in the last video part and the same in this new one?
Right.
Why wouldn't I? You know, I can do that trick already. I've done
just
it.
Like a different spot or something. Just like,
I mean, a lot of people have their go-tos and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
well, if I have my go-tos too, but I don't want people, like I showed you my go-to.
Okay.
Now it's time to move. This is my excuse for sucking so bad at contests, because my consistency level with what I do is horrific.
Well, yeah, because you probably do them once or something like that.
I do it one time.
Yeah. Right.
And it takes me like a week to do it.
Yeah.
I do it one time, and then I move to the next move. That takes me another week. So my kickflip Smith grinds aren't what they used to be. I mean, I can still do them, but I'm not going to whip them down to 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so when it comes contest time, it's like, all right, put a run together. I'm like, oh my God. Early grab the pyramid. You know what I mean? Because I know
Strictly basics.
You know, yeah, and that's why nowadays it doesn't fly, because strictly basics don't fly.
Yeah.
And then so it's just, why would I put the same? I have an opportunity to show you the people what
new stuff
I can do. You know, I film the tricks and the way that I would like to see the videos that I like watching. I try and film the way that I would like to watch somebody skate. If I don't know what Kelly's going to do in the next move, it's, you know, it's a draw that people will come and be like, oh my God, I have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
What is he going to do? This next video part is not going to be the same at all to what the last one was.
Fortunately, it's kind of predictable.
Yeah, it's really
predictable.
Totally.
I'm not saying you in general. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying, though. A lot of people have their go-tos. They kind of stick with what they do. Of course, they may be, you know, have a few new
Yeah.
shit that they've been working on. But, a lot of it is the go-tos and
If it ain't broke, don't fix it for some people.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's just the way that that everybody's career goes a different way, and that
totally.
everyone likes to do what they like to do.
I mean, for you, like,
it makes skating way harder.
yeah, I was gonna.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say.
and the process of it can get like tediously annoying and like boring and
Yeah.
frustrating, and you don't want to film anymore. But it is what it
Well,
is.
dude, another thing is too is finding those spots that you skate.
I
travel the world.
endless since that Deca was like, you want to go on a trip? I'm like, yeah, and I've been going on. I haven't, apart from going to Barcelona in 2017 when I started this, I haven't paid rent in like 10 years.
That's insane.
What? 10 years?
You must-
I
you're-
can't even remember. Maybe 7 years.
You must be a
Couch
minimalist.
surfer.
You must have no furniture. Like
I don't have.
nothing.
I don't. I mean, my parents
have a
have.
house.
Oh,
furniture.
you have your everything. Okay.
I have an apartment, but somebody rents it. But I don't own much of anything really.
That's
And,
great.
you
I love that, though.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have. I don't have any furniture for sure.
Wow.
I mean, I showed Kelly my van outside.
Yeah.
I'm building the van out. To
Oh, you're
live in
gonna.
it.
Oh, yeah.
It's big, dude.
No, that's the biggest thing I own. I've been traveling consistent. I'm always like, I get sick of being, if we go on tour and I hit the same spot twice, like numerous days, I'm over it already.
You're over it.
Like, why am I coming to, I don't know, Bulgaria and skating the same spot 4 times in, like every
Right.
day?
If this spot's fun.
And it's still, if I go there and there's nothing for me to film, I'll skate one day and I'm over it.
You're over it.
I need to go somewhere else to find something and it's been an endless, like
What-
everybody, endless.
What about if you're trying the same trick though? Like, you don't get it, you're gonna keep going back until you get it, yeah? Or do you kind of just like you don't get it
Sometimes-
that day?
Well,
or?
I hate going back to get stuff. Like I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They want to get it first go. That's-
Yeah, of
so,
course.
Exactly.
I'm going on like 3-hour sessions and just being like, oh my god, I do not want to come back for this. And only lately, like with the part that I just had, it just doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm like, I'll do it, and if I spend 3 hours doing it, I don't get that move. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
You just walk away and keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
and if I
trying that
come
thing?
back to that spot again, I'll try it again. But if I don't come back, I don't care.
Oh, you let it go.
Now,
Now.
before I'd be like, oh my god, I'd do like 8-hour sessions trying to just melting, and like after the first 3, you should have stopped.
Well, it's like that. It's just the tech skating. It's like
Yeah.
you can't do.
But it's like it's crazy when you have that window that opens and you're
yeah.
like, oh, it's going down right now, and then you totally lose it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Now-
all right, you're just gonna keep trying until you get back in that groove.
Yeah, the window's shut for like an hour.
No, yeah. I also don't like hopping fences, and I don't like skating other people's houses. And so San Francisco was out of bounds.
Oh, you
for
don't
me.
like that? Yeah.
Well, not that I don't like. I just don't feel like I should be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I can't do that. San Francisco is a whole different type of skating to me.
But in this new video, Brainchild, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's called. What was it? You did some insane shit. Let me tell you, we've been talking about it for the past 20 minutes. But what was the hardest thing, do you think, that you did in that video? What took you the longest? And then what was your favorite trick that you did? Maybe it's the same trick. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, the first it's an independent part.
Yeah,
I
okay,
got that,
that's right. I'm
And
sorry.
And Brainchild is the new thing we got going.
Got a
on.
new thing. We'll talk about
Yeah.
Brainchild. for
So it's
sure.
an indie part, and with the hardest move in that, I don't even know what the hardest move is. Because most of my stuff there is from Barcelona.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, you did what was it on the little bank? You did, what was it? Lip slide,
It was-
feeble, like
You did feeble to barley grind to feeble to fakey.
Fakey, yeah. I mean, that was because I would always do like in an old part I had feeble to barley grind, and then I popped in Brazil.
Yeah, and then to
feeble
go back
and then-
though to.
But I mean, if you're on it, you're on it.
Yeah, I guess
it's just.
so.
I mean, I could 4 or 5 times.
Oh,
But I mean, if you do it 5 times, it probably doesn't look as good.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like the am shuffle almost.
Yeah.
But, those.
You must have had one trick that just ate you away, man.
Well, the dark slide was.
Oh, at the end, the dark
I
side.
mean, it was just frustrating because it was like. Because again,
How did you decide to do that?
I know. Walk us through this. Walk us through
well,
this.
it was. It
What were you
was
originally trying there?
nothing. It was. I knew that spot, so I knew that's because I was going there. Went there with Jesus.
Jesus Fernandez.
Yeah. At the time, he moved away now, but he was living there, and we went and skated the banks. There's these little banks at the bottom that just did like they're like butter bench material now, so it's like really slippery.
Wow.
Okay.
They're like at the bottom, and then there's these weird benches that you might have seen. It's like a wooden bench, but it like I don't know, it looks like a New York spot. But we went there to skate the banks, and we went up the hill a bit, and that hubba was there, and it was it's not high to get on.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, has anybody done anything? Because I think someone nose slid it or something.
Okay.
I was like, whatevs. Just tossing moves out like, oh, I got a dark slide. And because on the other side, it's just grass.
Sure.
So it's kind of safe. So I was like, oh, I got a dark slide it, like jokingly. And then, I got halfway and then I was like, oh my God. And then I would get to the kink. I was like, oh my God.
It's scary when you got to the kink?
Well, it was because I
gotta
kept
shift your.
Yeah, I had to get the weight was wrong, and the way the board was sliding was different, and I had to but there was
there's no trucks to keep you in place.
It was the nose, yeah. But there was no filmer there the first time I tried it, so
gotcha.
I was me and Jesus were like, oh my God,
This is crazy.
yeah, it's okay.
We need to go get the filmer.
This
is crazy.
We left, and
Did you put grip tape on the bottom board?
no, I didn't.
Did you wax the ledge?
It was
Does
a
wax?
little bit of wet, not too much, because with dark slides, once you get past the grip tape, it goes.
Oh, the wood.
Yeah.
Once you hit,
Once you hit
wood.
Yeah, you hit wood, it'll go. So the Enjoy dudes came out while I was out there, and with Zach and Austin, the filmer guy, and Louie and Ramers, and these dudes were
Sick. It's a good crew.
they were filming out there, and they went to that spot, I guess, and I think it was like, I got to go back there with it. They might have been there the first time, actually. Zach it might have been them going there. Yeah, I think it was them skating the spot, and then we went up there to look at it, and then I
You were
started,
just messing around.
So I was skating with Jesus a lot, but I don't think he was there. So it was that
Okay.
time. And then me and Zach was like, dude, you got to go do that or something. So we went back another day, and I started trying it and trying to get the hang of it, and getting around the corner and slamming like in the corner.
Oh, shit.
Trying to get the angle of the board right, and then one just worked.
I couldn't imagine getting all the way down to the bottom and then having to flip it over. That would be the most devastating part to me. It's like flipping it and then not making it, having to flip it.
It was
halfway back over to the wheels.
The flipping part wasn't a big deal. It was
That's not a big deal?
no. I mean, I can do dark slides like that,
Okay.
And I'm on Rodney's level where not level, but I'm on Rodney's mindset where it's the dark slide has to be nose and tail.
Oh, you can't be in the middle.
In the middle, dark
That's
slide
a
doesn't
weird one.
doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Who does that?
It doesn't. Well, I mean, Wes Kramer did it on the rail.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which is crazy. I'm not gonna say that it sucks or it's bad.
Oh, did he at Uni?
It was crazy.
Was that at Uni? No,
It was
some
at-
other
he
dude.
did
did
one-
that.
Concrete rails.
No, it's down in Laguna.
Yeah, it was
the concrete
Yeah, it was
rail.
that was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That was sick.
That was insane,
so I'm not gonna say it's bad, but to me, I want to do them.
To
nose
me,
and
it's
tail.
more. It's more sketchy because your feet can slip if you don't, like
I think
Raj
it's
said.
more
If you don't,
stable if you're.
well, if you don't have
it's-
grip
yeah.
tape on there, your feet could slip off, and now you're doing the splits.
Oh, you could be, but
Do people
but
put
you can
grip
pinch
tape?
your trucks with your
if you
Yeah,
have that, if you have the
But
time,
but it's
to do that,
easier
yeah.
to pinch outwards than inwards. You know what I'm saying? If you land on there and then have to like contract your legs in,
I think you
like,
have more control of coming out of the dark side with your nose and tail, because this one is more of a like a
Yeah.
the other one is like a shove-it-y, and it kind of rolls off both, like the bank tricks I did where it flinged off it goes off the ledge of the nose and tail, and it
So this
flings
one you're
up.
just kind of rolling it off almost.
Well, that's what I feel, but I mean, who
Well,
am
is
I?
there like, I've never done a dark slide in my entire life, nor have I
Yeah.
thought about trying one, but is there like different like names for it? Like the nose and tail one, it's just,
I don't know. I don't
I never
even-
heard like the one that we land in the middle. That's not as cool.
it's not, I didn't say it wasn't. I was just like, to me, I like them
Okay,
nose
yeah.
and tail.
I was the one who said it wasn't cool.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it was not cool because I know a lot of people that do it in there, and I mean, if you can do it, if you're sliding on the grip tape down a handrail, I don't care where your foot is.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's still sick.
What about on the trucks and wheels?
That's
Anybody do
tight.
that one?
I
You
wanted to do that one.
Did you do that?
Maybe. I mean, I've done it.
Stand on the trucks.
I've done
on
it.
the wheels, pretty much.
It's not a, well, you know how you sometimes you get like a slippery surf and you do a half kickflip and you do it like surfing kind of. Like you slide across the top on your board, like
oh,
Upside
like
down.
Jay Fox style or whatever. I've done that on the trucks because then when you're on the trucks, you can do that
You
thing.
could pop it.
flip it over.
Yeah,
You could
and-
pressure it back up.
Yeah. But on a rail, I've never, or a hubba or anything, I've never done that.
What about flip halfway to nose slide?
I've thought about that.
And then your other foot would be underneath
Can't
the
do that.
tail, holding.
Can't do-
You gotta do that.
Why?
See, I like this.
Is that not a good?
Down always.
It's not cool. Dude.
that's not cool.
That, I mean, I do a trick set. I do a
But
lot
that's
of.
the only way to do it. The nose slide, though.
well,
How are you gonna?
who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows because no one's pulled it out yet.
You know what I'm saying, Chris? Like you
I
flip
know.
it, and then so you're nose sliding on the other end,
It's a if
like
you can
that,
do
and
if
then
you,
the other your foot's under the.
if you can do a Casper
Yeah.
tail slide, like not droopy the dark slide nose. If you
Yeah.
can do this,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh wow.
If you can do that, that's crazy.
Your foot has to be underneath.
Yeah,
the
that's acceptable for me. This you know, on your nose,
Sandbag.
Right.
Yeah.
sandbag. That's not.
because imagine you're only sliding on this much of your nose.
I know that's
Yeah.
that'd be like when I saw Scott. Well, in the videos when I saw Scott Johnson do that back wheel slide. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Slide. What video was that?
I don't remember which
Dude,
one it is, but I know
that
you're
was
talking
like
about.
401. Was it 401 or was that was it a
It was like a.
sponsor me video or something? No,
What, the Thrasher video?
no. What video was
It
that?
was
in?
basically an SJ grind.
Was that a Mad Circle video?
No,
Is he
it was,
pretty much booger sliding?
full
Is that
one open.
Like the one that
Whatever.
Stefan used to do? The Stefan Janowski used to do like a.
He
wheel
back,
slide.
he did a back tail slide on a ledge, but he was on his wheel.
Wheels.
It wasn't a booger slide.
was
Where
on
it was legit balanced, like
on the edge of the curb.
yeah, on the wheels though.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Right.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking of something different.
Yeah, but it'd be like that. But yeah, droopy no.
So you never
Casper,
tried.
yeah.
You never tried the nose slide or tail slide with the foot underneath and then lifting and then nose.
I've never had
I think
the
it would
spot.
look cool.
I've
I think it would look cool.
haven't found the right spot.
No.
You know what I did think about is when I saw Brian Hansen he did a kickflip 50-50 on a rail in LA that's like around
Okay.
the wall, and he kickflipped into like dark upside down.
Like Primo.
Oh, dude.
He premoed upside down and he went around the corner and he
Yeah.
almost, dude, I don't know why he never did that because I
That's
want to do that,
insane.
but it's front side and I'm
Dude, the first trick you did.
first
in
trick.
The first trick you did in your part. What do you call that? What is that?
And
Well,
why did you do that?
well, I mean, I like to call it a west slide because John West used to, right near my house in Richmond, he slid in between his wheels and his board, that spot. So I always call that a west slide.
How do you? I wouldn't even know how to attempt to get it in. I guess it's like a back 50 or
No,
front
it's like
50,
it's
but
like
you have to like jam it in there.
It's like a sloppy front nose. It's not as hard as you think, really. But and then I saw everybody doing the you know, they like lock
Flip
in
'em.
and then they jump stationary and then they come out. And I was like, how come no one's ever slid that? And so I tried to slide it and it worked.
And then you flipped it around and landed back on it.
I had to do a body varial though.
Why?
I don't know, but just because
Someone will eventually do it.
because when I'm on my toe edge and when I flipped it toe edge, I flipped it right out of the rail every
so
time.
Come out of every single time.
Every time. So when I got on this way, I had a softer flick and it just landed better.
No way.
But that bail that's in there, I chipped my hip. Now I have
right.
Now I have a bone spur.
Wait a
floating
minute,
on my
hold
hip.
on.
shit.
You chipped your hip on that slam.
Yeah.
And you still tried it.
No, I did that after to try to get a better one because I didn't roll very fast out of it, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks." So I tried to do it more, and then now I have this.
Did you build that spot?
I made that rail. Yeah. Well, I seriously looked everywhere for a rail that I could do that on.
Because it needs to be a
That must be
certain
insane.
width.
Well, it had
to
to be. It was the L bar to get into the west side.
Yeah.
What do you mean L bar?
Like it was an L
Angle
frame,
iron.
Angle iron.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it had to be that so that I could get in.
Okay.
And then it went into the bar.
Oh, it went into a round.
Yeah. And then it went back into the L bar.
Interesting.
And I mean,
Who's making that?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
though
there's-
I skated it once and we just threw it out because who the hell wants to skate a flat bar that looks like that? Besides me, obviously.
True.
But
The fancy lad kids.
yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, they probably would have. Well, it's still I still have it if they want it. You can have it.
How long did that take you?
Took me less than I thought it was going to take
Seriously?
me. Yeah, because I did one to forward. I did one to come out to straight. You know,
Okay.
and then I just kind of liked the way that it flowed 180. You know, but yeah, I don't. Even, that's why it's at the start. I mean, I didn't want to be people bagging on me because they made. Oh, you made that spot. I'm like, yeah, I made it.
Yeah, but
Like-
this
Yeah.
day everybody's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
something, you know.
What? So your hip now, it's got a bone spur in it. Is it like really, does it hurt you when you skate? Oh, so you're okay.
I'm chilling. Yeah. I mean, it's right. It's just annoying that you look at it. It's just like,
Oh,
You feel it
okay.
floating around?
well, it's stationary right there, but I could feel it. Yeah.
Did you go to the doctor?
No, not yet.
Chris, you got to take care of the, bro. We're getting,
How-
we
Yeah, I
got to
know.
take care of these things,
I know.
man.
That's
Go
what
get
my
an
dad said.
X-ray.
How long ago was that?
That was start of last year, probably.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
You want me to
affect
take a bone? I'll take that out right now.
You're in the back there?
Yeah, I got a razor blade. Let's fucking get that thing out right now.
Dr. Krob.
Dr.
dude.
Krob.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
Pour some of that on it.
Either the coffee or the LaCroix. It's up to you. Pick your poison.
Box water for sure.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on the topic of crazy tricks, I wanted to say cheese and crackers, right? This video comes out and
Yeah.
it's bonkers. Now, I in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wonder if I feel like they kind of maybe just set out skating the ramp, and then they said, oh, let's film some shit on the ramp, and then did it just escalate into crazier and crazier and crazier shit as you guys went? Or from the beginning where you...
No, it escalated to where it
that's
was.
what I thought.
But Day One and I had started, Day One and I we're skating a lot, together. And we would skate mini ramp all the time. And obviously, Day One's on another planet with mini ramp skating. So him and I was, I started skating mini ramp really when I went to Vancouver. So in like 98 or whatever. So I was okay, there was room for improvement.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I was at a level where, I could sort of keep up, and all these videos, like I know the Plan B one, the section mini ramp video with Danny Way doing all these
Yeah.
Questionable video.
questionable. Yeah, he would do it. That was out there, and we're like, oh my god, that's nuts. And then the Volcom video, I think Rowley had a part with
Or the one he built.
the one they built in
Arizona
the
or whatever?
woods,
Yeah.
and there was that one, and me, Day One and I were like, "What the hell? We can do this."
Yeah. When you had the warehouse,
Why-
you had
well,
everything.
Dwindle rented the warehouse for us, and they helped us build the ramp and stuff. But
I thought it was at Dwindle.
no.
Oh,
It was
okay.
it was like MLK Boulevard and some like way down in
Oh, wow.
in Long Beach.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And they built the ramp in there, and it was supposed to be just like a fun video, just like we're just skating mini ramp, like
Yeah.
a little section, whatever. And then I guess Dwindle had a bunch of like, wow, we're gonna put it like your name's like boom, like Day One and how whatever. And
First Day One.
well, kind of because they're coming hot off of the round 3 video, and like the 1 and 2 and 3 of overall like big videos.
right?
So there was like Day One and I both was like, it's not a versus video.
Yeah.
Like we're not versing each other. This is like together. I mean,
Skating,
like,
having fun.
Yeah, but I mean, like when the trick started, it was kind of like a not competitive, but it was like a we played off each other, and we're like, you did that, I'm gonna do that. Same kind of vibe. But
Sure. But it didn't come off that way in the video, though. It came off as like
that's
a fun...
that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's what we wanted. But we got the ramp made, and we started doing it, and then we're like, oh, we got a name for this thing. We're gonna call it peanut butter and jelly.
Big name still.
Yeah.
We were gonna do that when we made it. Day One and Retta made an intro for it, and we did everything. And then there was some rail contest at the time. That was the snowboarding contest. That was peanut butter and rail jam.
Oh,
Or something along those
close.
lines. So we're like, eh. And then we changed it, and I can't remember. I think Day One was like, we cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
We're like, ugh, all right, cheese and crackers. Yeah, like because when you think of names when you're starting, you're just like, ooh, these are weird ones.
Sure.
Beer and pretzels.
Yeah, basically. But once we had once they were like, no, we want like your names to be all over it, and once that was like what was the standard, we're like, all right,
What do you
It
mean
can-
your name's
well,
to be
just
all
like
over it?
because
just
it was supposed to be like
this
an
is a
edit,
Chris
like,
Haslam and
Yeah.
Day One
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Before it was going to be like an edit with friends, and like, it's not going to be like, DVD style and like.
Okay, so once you guys were filming, they were saying, "Oh, let's have this."
Yeah, they were like,
Once you got past the 20-minute mark.
Well, no. Well, first it was like, who the hell wants to watch a 20-minute video on the same ramp?
Sure.
At the time,
Right.
and I was like, oh, God, I don't. Can you watch anything for 20 minutes? But well, that's when our attention spans were longer than they are now,
they
so
were.
we could watch for 20 minutes.
Right.
But we got in there and we started doing the tricks and stuff. And we started doing just the ramp tricks,
Yeah.
you know, like the blunt. Day One's doing the blunt, the fakey manny to blunt to kick, whatever. All the stuff that he's doing, and then like I would go on a trip for a bit and come back and you know, I'd hear and see what he did. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So then he would be gone for a couple of days, and then I would be in there doing my thing, and then you know that was the just the ramp kind of stuff.
The normal.
Yeah, like the you know my 270 feeble switch 270 feeble come in and this weird. His is like blunt kickflip fakies on the tires. But when I saw the tire, he did a blunt kickflip fake on the 3 tires. Mm-hmm. When I saw that, it was like, oh my God! And then that for me changed what I was doing. So every time I would go in there, it would be like, because I would get in there early.
Oh,
and I would just sit in there and be like, what can I do here? And I would, you know, everything that was in there we used. So it was tires. And I saw Day One do the tire thing, and I was like, oh my God.
That
like,
changed it for you.
Yeah, it was like, now we're getting weird because we're going like, you know,
straws.
Yeah, pull wall doors, you know, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So then it's, you know, we're like, this is retarded, but it's awesome because we're doing whatever we're doing. And then we had people come in, like Carol came in and Business came in a bit, and like our homies came in and skated. Luis Cruz was there skating, and we were just filming everything. Day One and I were filming each other. Sock was in there filming. John Pizzamani was filming.
Yeah.
We told Dwindle that we wanted everything to do with, like, we were going to do it. You pay for it, we'll do it.
Okay.
We don't want, you know, high production garbage or any of that crap.
Right.
So Day One and I were doing everything with Sock and John and these dudes. So yeah, when the, you know, the tire pulling thing, I mean, I sat in there for like a couple hours one morning, and I started building that thing where you know the one you pull and the thing comes down.
Rolls. Yeah.
I built that thing in there, and then I remember it wasn't working at all. Like at all.
You talking about the one that when it rolls off and goes in between your legs?
This one was the one where it rolls off and hits the board, and
yeah.
I was in there for like 30 minutes trying to get the board right and the tire to like hit
Bounce,
it.
yeah.
Because originally I wanted to just bounce it and jump in like without grabbing, like woo, and then land in it.
Holy shit.
And I was trying to do it and I couldn't get it. And I was like, God damn it. And then Day One comes in, he's like, he said something like, what the hell is this?
What are you doing?
Yeah. And then we tried to just film some with Sock, and that was like the second one I got was that one I got. I just grabbed it and jumped in.
So it did build and build and build. And and then you guys were in there together probably thinking about crazy weird
that's
shit.
that's when it started getting like, you know, when all the crazy stuff started happening, like the hanging poles and the weird hanging
drape,
disgusting grape that was in there already.
I love that because in the footage you could see it, but it's literally you're blind.
Yeah, no,
you're going up and you can't see it. The curtain's blocking.
Yeah, well, he'd do blunt kick with a fakie without even looking. Like
insane.
Yeah, that was gnarly. I did the ski pole.
Oh yeah, the two going up. Yeah.
Then there was a nail in the roof and it caught my hair. And it ripped my hair out when I like came back in. I was
Seriously?
like,
damn.
On the one you made.
Yeah, well, there's a few of them. The one I made, it happened, yeah. But there was one before that was kind of gnarly because I went too high and I like hit my head on it. But the one I made, there was a.
You ripped a little patch of hair off.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain why. I'm not balding yet. It's balding it's coming from the front, yeah, not the back.
Okay.
But yeah, there was, you know, all kinds of awesome stuff that was going on. It was
what a rad thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such a rad
time.
video. It got a lot of hype.
Well,
you know, people were
psyched
on it.
We were doing it and we were editing it and we were, you know, stealing the music for it. We were putting this in it with whatever, like old school.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, this is it. You know, and we painted the ramp, you know, drawing fucking Garfield and all like crap buttholes and all this stuff. You know? And yeah, we made the booklet was made and you know, and it went out and everything was just natural about it, and it went nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
it was insane.
We literally had no idea what was gonna. We were just like, all right, here's 20 minutes on the same ramp, everybody.
Right.
And it had Louis Marnell's intro video in the credits, and then me and Coop skating the dirt board wheels in the credits too, in the bonus too. So I had a bunch of other stuff, but it was it went insane.
Well, I mean, just because of all the shit you were doing and all the stuff that you had to think of and the tires going everywhere and
no one else is doing that.
Nobody.
Yeah.
That was part of the like, oh my God, what are we doing?
I'm sure you had those days.
Well,
a lot.
jumping the shark.
you're after the round 3 video, I was like, that was such a good response to that video for me, and that being one of my first major videos.
Yeah.
Well, I had 2 tries. I had the Deca video, and then I had a totally different version of myself in the Almost video.
Okay,
so I had like
right.
full Canada with like the tearaways and the shaved head.
Yeah.
And then the guy that had a hair and kind of looked like Jamie Thomas a little bit.
Yeah.
In the Almost part.
With
and
the
now
bracelets?
Yeah, the bracelets and the whatever hair and the shirt that flannel's open, whatever.
Yeah.
So I had like 2 tries, and that was the second try. And the response I got from it was like
Incredible.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was just, even Cheese and Crackers, like people that have supported what me and Day One have been doing.
Right.
Not even together, just like individually.
Well, you know
it's
what
like,
it is, though, Chris? It's like, nowadays, too, especially, right, with Instagram, you see all these wacky circus tricks, right? You're just like, dude, this is just, I gotta...
He's like, I've already done that.
It's my fault for even following these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, but then you go and you and Day One or somebody that actually does them good, and enjoyable to watch,
But also too, they've been doing it for so long that you see the progression. It's not like you see some random dude do it. You're like, oh,
no,
whatever.
totally,
and that's what's
totally
really cool.
But you see circus tricks, and you're like, circus trick, and then you see a circus trick, and you're like, whoa, that's a circus. That's amazing.
Most you see now are all at a skate park.
I mean, it's true. Broomstick down the hubba. It's just crazy.
My tricks have been called circus tricks over the years many, many times.
Yeah, but you do them well, though. That's my point.
I can speak for myself saying that when I watch Day One do them, whatever the circus one, he does them good.
Yeah.
For myself, I just do them. You know what I mean? If I can roll away, it's how I roll away. I'm not like trying to, he doesn't, like, I'm no style god at all.
But it's impressive, though.
Thank you. Yeah. It just, it takes a lot for me to do them.
Yeah.
And
They're
it's just
circus tricks,
frustrating.
but they're not like circus tricks. Some of the kids out here doing nowadays are just, they want the views.
Yeah.
They want the attention. They want the views,
Yeah.
and I think in your case, it's more of like, how can I outdo myself? I don't want to do the same shit.
Yeah.
I want to just keep going with it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this goes back to like, people saying NBDs, like no one's ever done this. Like
Go watch a old Nudio video.
Well, exactly. I watched. I used to watch Nudio videos all the time. I still do, and a lot of the tricks that I do, they've been done already. maybe not on. I might have made it a little bit more present day.
There you go.
But they've been done already.
like on a curb or something.
Yeah,
or,
just because it's on a curb and I do it somewhere else doesn't mean that I am the first to do it.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Totally.
I think Muckmouth posted Brian Laude doing like a blindside and nose grind on a curb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
then
then
Deeds did one on
He's
that.
on the bank.
Yeah, it's
like-
cool to see, but a lot of people wouldn't think of that.
Yeah.
It's cool when the guys get to shout that out. And,
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
about knowing the history of skating,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And knowing that, and giving respect to the dudes in the early 90s
Oh yeah.
that, the people have forgotten about, but they, like, Chris Fissel and all these dudes,
Totally.
they did that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even Julio.
Julio.
I did Transworld Pro Spotlight in 2015 or something, and a lot of my moves in there were like weird half flippy like things.
Hacky sack.
Yeah, and I got a lot of inspiration from watching Julio do his pressure flips and stuff, and I just tried to make them not pressure flip.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's basically where the idea for me came from to do those moves. And I was actually talking to Julio on Facebook.
Oh, sick.
Because I was asking him what these moves were called. Because I didn't want to be like, yo, I did it.
Yeah.
But so me and him were, talking a bit there. And
I wonder if that conversation's like when you hit your back foot a tad and then it goes
Yeah,
back.
how
and your
do you,
other
like-
foot hits it back.
well, there was one. He did one down like a 3-stair where it was like a like a pressure flip and then a big spin back the same way,
Okay.
which he called a dream flip because he came to him in a dream one day. Apparently, he said to me.
No way.
But the one I wanted to know about was the one after that where it was like a switch outward pressure and then he like Caspered it 360 shove it or something over like dude I
don't even know what you're saying.
no I had to slow it so many times to figure out what was going on and I have no idea how he did it because I've tried it
He got lucky that day.
well, he said he filmed all that stuff in like 4 days or something. So like I was trying to figure out a way to make that trick look not look good. Make that trick. No. Because I mean, it's a gnarly. That's a crazy flag trick. I tried to make it so it wasn't a pressure flip.
Sure.
It was and I couldn't figure it out. I was like,
that's amazing that you're talking to Julio. It's incredible. A lot of people wouldn't even take the time. They just take the tricks and just run with it.
That's what I
wanted to know the history of it.
I like that stuff. I like. I'm never going to claim that I invented anything or because I might have put two tricks together that many people haven't seen, but I've never invented it.
Speaking of making the trick look good, like, is there a trick out there right now that you just think looks like crap? Like if you saw someone do like, ugh.
Yeah, those where they do like slide, shove out, and then they do it in the no comply right after. Mm-hmm. Like they do like a tail slide and they big spin, but then they land with one foot on the floor.
Oh, it's like I know what you're saying.
I don't like that.
It's like you do any trick like that, really.
Yeah. Well, if your foot's on the ground, it's not a land.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When I grew up, that's what that was. If you didn't have your foot on the board after the trick, it's not a land.
Yeah.
At any point in the trick.
What about during the trick though?
Fast plant. Well,
I saw a cool one recently. Manual, no comply to fakie manual.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you did the trick in the part. You did the.
That's okay. Yeah, well, I'm gonna say that's okay. I'll let you guys be the judge of that.
That one's all right.
But that was, it was.
By the way, you got to watch that in slow motion because you actually put your foot on the ledge and then your knee hits the board to make it flip.
Yeah, the outside because it
looks.
I got that idea to do those tricks from Shiloh Greathouse because he used to do the fast plant nose bonk with a front foot impossible. Mm-hmm. So I started learning that, and then I did one in I think Bag of Suck. I might have done it with a fast plant with a finger flip, like a nollie finger flip, late flip, off a tree stump in Barcelona. And then I wanted to do that again somewhere, but I wanted to do a different move on it, and I was trying something else that day there, and I couldn't figure it out, but it kept hitting that spot in my leg, and I was like, oh, screw it.
Just go with it. Just go. Right. Because the first time watching it looked like a nollie frontside flip or something.
Yeah, no. So it hit the outs, but it worked. How are you going to film that to,
Have you ever just tried to do that and it hits you in the nuts super hard?
Oh my God.
No. I get
even the tire going through the legs and Jesus Christ. I was like, that was the first, my first thought was like, dude, it's
not a Mad Max tire with like spikes on it.
Yeah, but still, those things weigh a couple pounds, man.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was sketchy rolling in on that one. But no, but I get a lot of shin hits and I hit my knees a lot and my shins because I do I try to do those weird flat ground moves that I don't know how to do properly.
Well, look at your Instagram, and I'm like, I have no idea what what they are.
I love it though.
You have rock shin guards?
No, I should. It would help me out. But it would if I pull my socks up, it feels like I have shin guards on.
You got a little bit of a little protection.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do on Instagram anymore. So I just, you know what I mean? Like I get there's no satisfaction for me to do anything. So I just film flat ground tricks because it's something that's there and I can people some people are like, you get like the 100 comments that are like, oh, that was sick. And then one guy's like, you hit your toe.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like, sweet. That's the one I look at.
That's what you focus on.
Yeah. I do a flat ground trick I've never done. And some one dude out of 500 is like, it's kind of weak.
You're like, God damn it. This guy's right.
No, but then it's like, I like doing them. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just different. And I mean, some of them are the same kind of concept, but I don't want to go and nose blunted 12.
You always want to do something new. It looks like that's what it always looks like in your case. Not a lot of skaters think like that. You know what I mean?
Well, it's hard for a lot of skaters too. You know, it's a lot of time.
Well, it's hard for. It's hard for everybody. It's hard for me. It makes. I feel like I'd be a lot. I would enjoy, but I don't know about that. But skating would be a lot easier if I stuck to a couple tricks.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But you wouldn't be you, bro.
Well, I know that's the part. Then I wouldn't be. I probably wouldn't be where I am in skating, and I probably wouldn't be as satisfied with what I was doing on my skateboard or the finished products that I get. You know what I mean?
You should, when you go film a couple basic tricks, film what you go there to film.
I can't.
But then put out the basic part, and then like your hard part that you want to put out.
You know what's sick is when the round 3 video came out. That's how Day One skates. Day One will go to a spot and just completely slaughter it because he films everything, and it's like everything up to the trick he wants to do, he's filming, and they're all hard.
Yeah.
So the almost round 3 part was just like, oh my God, like seizure, because I don't know what's happening, because he's doing all kinds of insane, like not like tray flip nose man, all this stuff. And then the Skate-More part came out, and it was a whole different side of Day One. And I think that really got Day One. That really pushed, I think, Day One, because everyone was like, "Oh my God, that's 2 completely different sides of Day One."
But he's always every video part. I feel like he kind of transitions into something different.
Yeah,
like,
fixating on something, whether it's tables or
a tree.
Yeah. But I mean, still, the 2 sides of that plays along. But I don't film like that.
Yeah.
I go there, I film what I want, and then I leave. And then I go there and I film and then. And that's just how I've done it.
It's kind of like, I mean, that the same thing for me, though, It's like I have a trick in mind. It's probably not an easy trick. It'll probably take me 5 days, but it's like I'm not going to go and film something when you came for that one thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like...
There are different types of skaters, man. People just go and shred shit and they get it, and some people have it planned out.
Well, I've always wanted to be that guy where just like, screw it. Like,
get like 5 clips every day, like randomly going
they
out.
look all sick, and they're like...
That's like in a shot or something like that. The shot
Booznitz
too. They just destroy it, and you're just like,
I'm not like that. I can't even get myself to do that, because I'm like, oh God, it's not the same. That's like me skating in the, like New York style in the street. I can't do that.
You can't do that. Yeah.
I feel like I'm so out of place doing that I'm just like, I'm going to leave that to you guys, because
you just stick to what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. And I'm the circus guy. So I'll try to make those as less circus as possible.
I feel like Rodney Mullen was definitely on that tip too.
Well, that's part of how I was like, where I went, because of Rodney's influence and Day One's influence too. You know what I mean? Because they're both kind of do crazy, hard and crazy moves. Yeah.
Pretty much the best of the best, right there.
Well, no, and I was fortunate to get into that group of guys, especially after the round 2 video and round 1 and round 2 videos. I was fortunate to be into that crew,
right?
And and they changed my whole outlook on how to have a career as a skateboarder and what kind of skating I kind of went into, what I mean, and how I changed my skating to what it is now. And those dudes had huge influences on me doing that. I mean, they probably don't even know, but they did.
Yeah, they know.
I hope so, because it means a lot to me that they helped me, even if they don't think they did, help me get to where I am because of the lessons I learned from those dudes.
But it is who you're around,
Absolutely.
It's like I was around Guy and Eric, and that's who shaped my career. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to ask you though, because Deca you went from Deca to Almost, right?
Oh yeah. Dude, what was that company called?
You got
Artafact?
Artafact.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Artafact.
Yeah.
Wait, that was only around for like a year or so, bro, wasn't it? That was
Way shorter than
Might
that.
not even been that.
Might have been 6 months.
Wait, so what happened? Deca went out of business, right? They closed shop on Deca?
They closed.
Or
they closed shop on Deca. I can't remember what video it was, but there was a video of Steve Rocco being like, I give it 6 months.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What video was that?
Well, that was questionable video.
It was around.
Well, he said that then
he said it again for Deca.
did he?
Yeah.
Deca was around for a little bit, though.
It was around for a minute. They had the sneak preview video, and then they had.
I liked Deca. I was a fan.
Yeah.
They had a great team.
Well, they had sections in the Rodney First Day One too.
Sure.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they had a sick ass team.
What's dude? The little kid was so sick from LA. Marcos.
I think so. I can't remember.
Marco Diaz? Or,
No.
I remember that kid.
Dude, he was super buttery, dude.
kind of fresh style. Fresh.
Yeah, it was, Neil Mims was on.
Oh yeah, he was on there.
What the hell happened?
Oh, I don't know. I was just glad to be there, so I wasn't paying attention at that time. I was just glad to be there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I was, the new kid. Yeah, I don't know.
They started Artafact?
Well, because I think they got, I don't know. I guess they weren't selling. There was like not really any direction to it. The brand was like all over the place. Sure. And again, I was just there for the ride at this point. And then around this time was when Rodney was on Enjoy, right? I think they were sick of Deca or whatever, so they're like, we're going to start something else. So day one started Artafact with Coop and myself.
Yeah.
So it was us three, and it was just us three the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah. And day one had the board, and it was just us three. And then I guess
But you didn't even have boards.
I wasn't pro yet. No, we weren't pro,
pro yet?
No. I went pro after the almost round 3
Day
video.
one, the pro, and you and Coop, the 2 amps.
Yeah.
Cooper Wilt.
Yeah. And then around the end of Artafact time was when Rodney, whatever happened with Rodney and Joy, he was not there anymore. And Rodney was in day one. We're like, yeah, I guess we could do something, but I don't want to do it with Artafact or something. I don't know. So let's start something. Let's rename it. Oh. And we can bring in Lutzka and Sheckler from World.
Oh, okay.
And it would be me, Lutzka, Sheckler, Coop, Rodney, day one.
Wow.
And then I don't know who, I think day one said, I don't know, can't remember who said it was almost, but that's how it basically started.
Maybe after a while, the name Artafact didn't sit well with them.
Well, it was
terrible.
It was like a hanging socks or something. It was like a triangle with like these 3 things. I don't know.
It was really random.
I don't know if those 3 things were supposed to be me, Coop, and day one, or if it was. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I
you
just
know,
thought about it right now.
so sometimes you start something or you're a part of, and then the name just like Girl Skateboards. Who would have thought such a weird name?
Yeah.
But then after a while, it's a great name.
Yeah,
you
well, I know.
And then
Well,
maybe Artafact didn't sit well. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
I don't know.
Why they would do that.
I was still just along for the stoked that he took me along. You know what I mean? It was like.
So when you got on Almost, then you turned pro for Almost.
We got on Almost. I got on Almost. Well, it changed to Almost.
It changed. Right.
And I'd still been filming a bit still, and we started the brand, and then the video was like, we're gonna do a video,
Okay.
and it's gonna be a round versus video. And I was like, oh my god, we gotta make it better than the second one and the first one, or like, geez, this is gonna be insane.
All the pressure's on Rodney and Day One.
Yeah, no, but I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this guy's, he's already been on Deca. Let's see who just blows it now. Okay. So, and it's the reinvention of myself with the hair. And
Got to come correct.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not so baggy. And we just started filming, and I had an opportunity and I wasn't going to waste it.
Sure.
So I went for it.
Then they turned you pro after round 3?
The response was so good from the video, my part from the video, that they eventually did it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was, there was no like pro party or anything.
No.
It was like, dude, the catalog's, you're going to be pro. The catalog's due in like a week. Let's do, what do you got for, like, you have any ideas for a board?
Oh my gosh.
I was like, well, and the first board I had, 2 boards I got for the first round was a white board. It was like a Van Halen looking guy with a guitar that had a shotgun at the end.
Oh shit! Okay.
Damn.
And that was because Al Partnan was the Globe team man, because Globe and Dwindle were in the same. I wasn't on Globe.
You were
yet.
on Globe.
No, I wasn't on it.
Oh, not yet.
No.
Still in action.
No, I was getting like DVS flow or something,
DVS?
but through Podium at the time. Yeah. I think I can't remember. And Al Partnan was the Globe team manager, and he had that shirt on. He's like, dude, you should do this. And I was like, all right, okay, here's one. And then one of my this dude I know, Mark Anderson from Canada, he designed this other one, this Grizzly Adams board with had the bear in the middle and stuff. But he gave this whole, he wrote an email about why and like who Grizzly Adams was and all this stuff and how it related to me. And then I think Mark McKee saw it and was like, you know what? No, we'll get that photo. And it was just the Grizzly Adams and the bear.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, we're just gonna Photoshop your face out and put this stupid face of you on, and then have the top saying "Life and Times of Grizzly Haslam" or whatever.
Grizzly Haslam.
And then they were like, all right, it's done.
That's it.
That was it. And then
those are your first boards.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't care. I was stoked, you know what I mean? Because it's like a milestone in, skate life is to get a pro board.
At the same time, bro, you've worked your ass off, man.
I was just doing it though. I wasn't, it was just me doing it. And I was like, still fired up about being able to live the lifestyle, you know what I mean?
Be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And be with the people I was with, you know what I mean? Because, they were, huge names in
Icons,
skateboarding.
icons, Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And them having my back so hard, and Dwindle as well, like Rodney and Day One and Dwindle.
Yeah.
As a entity they had my back so hard. So
Was it a weird thing? Because we were talking about recently about like turning pro but not having a shoe sponsor at the time. Was that like a weird thing?
it didn't seem like it.
Like,
I mean,
but
they
you
never-
got a shoe sponsor. You got on Globe after that.
no. Well, it was a while. I tried to get on shoe sponsors for ages, and everyone said no.
Really?
Yeah, I've had sponsors. Everybody said no, but side story about the sponsor me video. When Crail Tap moved to the new office,
Just recently? Or
yeah, just recently.
Okay.
They had to clean up all the stuff.
They found
Yeah.
they found your sponsor tape.
Well,
the
they
TV.
gave it to my buddy Sean, who's like, "Look what I got," and it was my tape that I sent them. The bastards didn't even look at it. You
They
guys.
didn't even. They gave you your sponsor me tape back.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna return this. We got a late fee it, but yeah, they gave it back to me. So that was
incredible.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But no, I wasn't on.
You should have said no. Keep it. I'm trying to. What do you?
Are you
You guys down yet?
Yeah.
You guys said,
Want a new one?
I'm still waiting for the call.
I think I need it. Yeah. No, I didn't get on Globe till a lot later than that. I mean, I was bopping around for like, you know, I'd get DVS shoes here and there because they won, and Tim Gavin helped me out a little bit with some shoes and stuff, and yeah, and then I was in Cheese and Crackers. I was wearing Lakai's.
You were?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Oh,
I took the Lakai logo off. That's
Oh,
probably
that's
why
why-
that's probably why they threw my tape in the garbage. No, I the what are they? The Helfords, those the mid top.
The Telfords?
Telford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I skated those, and then it was after that because they at that time was Appleyard got on, and they had this massive push for Appleyard.
Yep.
Time for
I remember
change or
that.
whatever. So he was the dude. And then you know 2 years later or something it was.
How did you get on Globe then?
It was crazy. I was the guy at Dwindle that would go anywhere for anybody.
Any trip, any team.
Like I don't have a shoe
Tag
sponsor.
along,
I don't have a shoe
let's go.
sponsor. So anybody at Globe, if they had a tour, if they needed somebody desperately to go from wherever they are, I'll be like, I don't care. I'll go. Like tomorrow, I'll go right now.
You would literally drive there.
No, I remember one day I was going to skate a park in Vancouver. They had a Red Dragon park in Richmond. It was an indoor park and it was miserable out. And I was getting on the bus to go there, and I got a call saying, "You want to go to somewhere like Chile tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I got off the bus, got back on the bus to back away, and then I got home and went to the airport and went
No
to Chile
way.
for
That's
2 weeks.
so
Who the
sick.
hell's calling you to ask to go to Chile that night?
Globe.
Oh, it was a Globe thing.
And I think that's how it went down. But because in the first United by Fate video, I crooked grinded on a boat and I was wearing the half cabs because I wasn't on yet. But they, I think Mark Appleyard left the tour at the very start for some reason, and without, I don't know what happened, but he left, and they're like, "Oh my god,
We need somebody.
there was David Gonzalez and Mac now there, and we need somebody else."
Right.
And they're like, "Hey, they're there now."
And is this at this point you're not getting shoes
No,
from them?
not
they
yet.
they just called you up.
Well, they knew me because I was on Deca. I was there, and I was like, I'll
Globe
go.
was part of it all.
It was
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
right.
I'll go anywhere.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I'll wherever.
Huh.
So they hit me up, and because I didn't have a shoe sponsor, there was no weirdness doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I went, and then a bit after that is when they actually were like, we should try to do something.
Okay.
So that's pretty much when that happened.
Yeah.
How many passports have you gone through? Because you could travel quite a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe 6 or something.
Oh wow, damn, dude.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
a lot of stamps.
I was gonna say-
well, no, some
Do you
of them.
keep your old ones?
I keep my own ones, but
Good,
some of
good.
them expired because I'm dual citizenship for England, UK as well. So
What
when
about Canada?
Canada, I have a passport.
You have 3
I have a permanent residency card.
for the United States.
Yeah,
James Bond.
His wallet's like Costanza.
yeah,
What do you no? So you got permanent resident, and then you got dual citizenship.
yeah. Canada and the UK.
Canada. And, okay.
So when I go to Europe, it's all stampless
Stamp.
because it was. I don't know what the hell's going on with Brexit,
Sure.
but it was all stampless.
Because you're not getting a stamp to go into the
No.
same country. Yeah.
No, so most of them were just expiry ones, but I did get a lot of stamps beforehand. But if I go to China and stuff, because sometimes you go to Argentina or Brazil, England, you don't pay to enter, and Canada, you'll have to pay. These weird things. Like I went to Belarus once, and they're like, you got to pay $150 to get the visa for a Canadian, but for the UK, it's like $50.
So you're like, I'll
So
use
you're
my
like,
UK.
Yeah, so you can borrow. Yeah, it's like
It's like having your own credit card.
Use
yeah,
my American Express.
yeah.
Interesting.
That's amazing. Though. So I mean, like, almost globe, hell of a run, right? How many years
Well,
on almost?
the whole time, basically till 2000 and December of 2016. So
And
it's like
you left.
Yeah, I did.
What?
I did.
And you left Globe.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well,
Chris, what do you do?
Did you leave at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
What do you-
it
what
just
do you-
it just happened at the same time. It was
What happened?
there was almost there was things that were going on. I wasn't really into the direction of the brand anymore,
Okay.
because they were doing a lot of they do a lot of collaborations with like Hanna-Barbera and all this stuff.
DC Comics and-
DC
yeah.
Comics, and
Gotcha.
I just felt like there was no.
Identity.
They weren't. They weren't. It was all surface stuff. There wasn't an identity to the brand.
There wasn't any depth.
Yeah, especially for me too, because I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was there when there was something for me there. Like it was the team camaraderie. There was, we were the Impact and Technical Guys brand. We had the boards and we had, Day One and myself and Rod.
Lights and all that.
Yeah,
Sure.
we had all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, every brand at Dwindle had the technology. So we weren't specialists. So it was just, crazy skating. And then everybody is crazy at skating now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we had, it was just like we were just in limbo the whole time. And I didn't really, think it was I was like,
You didn't jive with it. It
was
wasn't.
just, I felt like we could do much more than what we were doing and nothing was happening with it. For me anyway.
Sure.
So I was like, it's time to,
The team now is awesome.
yeah, I know. But still, again, I was there from the start and I
Yeah.
know it as a different
You've seen
beast.
the,
You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Now it's a completely different beast it is now, and it's theirs now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not. It's not. I had my time with it, and it's their
It's
turn.
funny, man. Companies do go through changes, and it's a whole collab phase.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's doing these
Yeah.
collabs. It's almost like, how do we stay in business? Collabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that get sued for stealing their art.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's true. Work with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand, right? And what
Yeah.
about Globe, though? Same thing. I mean, Globe seems more like a stable kind of just...
At the time, the salary, the paychecks were getting lower and lower for everybody. And I was kind of on the same program there too. I don't know, and I think they knew it. So
All your eggs are in one basket.
yeah, I think. Well, I never, because I had a good. I mean, I guess even though you're super good homies with the brands that you're in, it doesn't mean that you're going to be there forever.
True.
It is a business, really.
Yeah.
So the pay was getting down. I was the only one that was out of contract at the moment, and they were like, they were just saying like, yeah, we can't. The times are crazy,
Oh, yeah. For every shoot.
Yeah, and exactly, and I understand it, and I think they knew. I think they knew that I was like, because I felt like there was never really a lot going on for me. Like we could do much more than what we were doing as well.
Sure.
I wasn't the only dude under contract. They were, So I was like, and they were like, well, we can't pay you anymore. So I was
Right.
like, well, I guess,
I can't ride your boards anymore.
So it was-
I
so-
guess I'll skate somebody else's
So
shoes.
it was like it wasn't like me bailing on them, and it wasn't them. It was kind of like a
Mutual.
thing, but it was.
okay.
It was all right. It wasn't too crazy.
Yeah,
I was. I
right.
mean, I was waiting for it, and I think they knew.
What
So-
about now, though, right? You come out with this indie part, which we talked about. It's phenomenal.
Thank
I
you.
got to watch it 20 more times
Yeah,
to
you gotta watch it a
understand
couple
some of the
times.
shit. I mean, there's shit that I don't even know that was an underflip, and it was an
Thanks,
underflip. There's hitting off your knee and all. What about now, though, right? I mean, no board sponsor. No
Chew.
shoe sponsor,
Yeah.
but you're starting your own thing,
I am
right?
starting my own brand. Yeah, it's shoe sponsor.
Brainchild.
Brainchild is the brand I'm starting. It's gonna come out soon. I'm still like sorting out stuff.
Okay,
and it's
sick.
it'll probably a couple months, 2 months or something. Still, I don't know yet.
That's cool.
But, you'll see it when it comes out. I'll make sure if you follow me. If you don't,
yeah?
Oh yeah.
somebody will post it. But it's
Wayward nephew.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm starting that, and I feel like it's gonna have like because I'm a big fan of New Deal and
Oh, yeah.
so I kind of kind of draw because I'll do everything. I do the art.
Oh,
I do the graphics for it.
sick.
And I'll do
Okay.
I'll probably do some of the video editing for it and stuff, and maybe some
Right.
filming and skating. And I mean, I don't have a team yet, but I'm
Just you.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm open for positions.
Everybody, you're taking sponsor me.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
accepting
Well, dude,
sponsor me.
People
Tags.
are gonna start sending you DMs now for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's a sponsor link now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll get some links.
Yeah, so I'm starting that. So,
How do you feel about starting a new company, though? Are you stoked to do it? Are you?
Yeah,
It's a
no.
lot of work, man. It sounds
No,
like
I
it's
know.
just you.
Well, I've had a one-track mind. We all do when we're in the skate scene.
yeah.
That's all we
True.
think about all the time is where the next trick is, what the next trick is. What can we get a film where let's go skating? Whatever it is. That the lifestyle that's what it is of a pro skater. For me anyway.
yeah.
And I always felt like I wanted an outlet to do stuff. Like everybody that starts a brand, they want an outlet to do.
Yeah.
I feel like
Did you start Leftover? With,
I helped
Sean?
my friend, Sean. Sean started it. I'm there with him. doing
Leftover
it.
hardware.
Yeah, leftover hardware.
Gotcha.
He's the dude behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, he sponsored Frankie Villani and stuff too.
Sick. You never asked me.
You never asked you to do it?
It's
No.
weird.
Don't you ride for Diamond?
I see him all the time. Oh, that's right. I do.
But anyway, he
Long
like
list of dudes there.
Hey, I'll put two. I'll put four
right
in the
here.
front, and
Yeah.
four in the back. You know what I'm saying? I can double up.
2 and 2. Yeah.
Wow.
But go ahead. Please.
So
I'm sorry.
I felt like I had a lot of time outside of skating because my skating is pretty selective of how the spots, and I'm not going to just go to Hollywood High anymore and do, because I also have a lot of rules that I do when I do film parts, is that I hate doing the trick on a spot twice in the same video. Minus this last part.
Yeah, I was gonna say you skated the bank spot, but that was
This part
true.
I erased a lot of what I do, and okay, tell me what you guys think. When you're doing a line
You go ahead.
and you do, say, a tail slide to fakie, and then you turn around and do another forward trick.
Oh, instead of
no.
Why did you come off fakie?
Thank you,
Yeah.
Roger.
No, there's no reason to do that.
Because I always thought I was insane, because I would say, why the hell would you go to fakie
Yeah.
if you're just
going to turn around again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was always the rule I had.
If you do like a half cab flip.
No, exactly.
you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, good. That was one issue I had, and every time I see, and the only person I've ever seen get away with it
Rick
is
Howard.
Rick Howard. Guy did the one where he went around that
Yeah.
way.
He went around the hard way.
Yeah, that was awesome. And Rick Howard can do it because he's Rick Howard.
I was gonna say though, I mean, there's certain people who it's like Kenny Anderson with the back push.
No, yeah.
Right. It's like I don't want to see Kelly do a back push.
Yeah.
I see Kenny
Yeah,
Anderson do a
Kenny.
back push.
See Roger doing, yeah.
Not
I've done it.
even Roger. I want to see
I've
Kenny
done-
do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
though?
no.
It's like there's certain people
Yeah.
can do the.
I know,
do
and they are the exceptions but there's not many.
right.
And so, like, filming a trick at the same spot twice in the same video,
That was a no.
that was a no-no for me. I mean, there were times when the new one, I just was like, I'm trying to, because I thought this was going to be my last part, because
really?
I tried to get a board sponsor when I left almost, and everyone was like, not.
We'll give you boards, but that's about
I
it.
don't know. It's same shoes, same as shoes.
Shoes,
And the
okay.
everyone's like, no.
Well, you're skating a lot of New Balances though. They're
No, well,
hooking you
just
up.
because I know Jason Rothmeyer.
Oh, Jason Rothmeyer.
Yeah, and he hooks me up.
That's
Thank
cool.
you, Jason. Yeah,
that's awesome.
They
he-
got great shoes, bro.
Yeah, they do,
Great
and I'm stoked that he hooks me up, because I would be skating in bare feet if he didn't.
Which I'm sure you could do.
King of the road,
Very well,
I did. So yeah, anyway, I just had I have a lot of time, and I like to draw stuff, and I'm hoping
Barbarians.
people. Oh no, yeah, that's another one. That's another Instagram. I actually got some here for you guys.
You got what?
Barbarian related. This is something I do for two reasons. One, because it's another way to look at Instagram without feeling pressured to do stuff. Because I in your Instagram you're like, oh God, I gotta do this move. I concentrate on likes and all this crap that drives me insane.
Yeah.
So I started this other page called Barbarians. There's a lot of drawings I do, and I don't care. I mean, it's something that I can look at Instagram and be like, you know what, this is what Instagram. So I don't care if someone hates it or likes it.
Right.
If you don't like it, don't follow me. I can say that to people.
So it's just a drawing. It's art. Just drawings.
yeah, it is drawings, but
This is interesting. I'm
You've never
finding
seen
out.
this before?
I've never seen this.
they're drawings of
No way of balls.
of people as penises. Yeah.
No.
Wait, let
you
me
drew
see.
me as a penis.
It's
We're
and,
all-
it's no reflection of character. It's just stuff that I think is hilarious. And
as long as I'm bigger than Raj.
well, I mean, your nutsack's pretty huge there, right?
You're pretty big.
But yeah, it's stuff that I just think is fun, and it's crazy to see the reaction to it.
Yeah.
Because I made a bunch of stickers because I do like celebrities and stuff. Like I made Weekend at Bernie's, and they're both dicks. and I did the animal chin invert ones as dick.
insane.
Look
Let
at the
me see that.
resemblance.
Yeah, it's identical, almost the same
You know,
outfit.
same outfit.
Well, you nailed the skin color. Let me
Perfect,
tell you
yeah.
something. You nailed the skin color. But let me tell you something, bro. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
You're in the
go
middle of telling it, but you're a fabulous artist, bro. I mean, the background, minus all the dicks, but
Yeah,
you're, like the attention to detail, man.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
this
that's
is
amazing.
great.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I got these stickers. I went to Tampa. I went to Tampa this year when I was judging, and I was passing them out at the Brick, and the reaction that there was like a divided line about like, oh my god, that's so lame. And they're so bummed on the sticker. Somebody's like, oh my god, this is amazing. So, and then I was like, my god, I should do an art show at the gay bar behind the Brick.
Oh wow.
And I was contemplating trying to organize that.
I think it'd be a
walk over
big
there.
hit. I think it'd be a big hit.
Yeah, I mean, I could do a bunch of them. I could do a bunch of the skit because I used to do on the
You and
Instagram.
Boris Walker can do one together.
I know that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I could do. I did a bunch of Thrasher covers with dudes on there. Like I remember I did one with Leo Romero's Thrasher, and he like hit me up to get it. I don't know if I don't think anybody knows that it's me doing it.
Oh, now the cat's out of the bag.
I think now
is exclusive.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that know, but now that is out of the bag. But
It's out of the bag. How many posts do you have on there?
like 300.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I
Is
swear.
it all like art
Yeah.
like this, or is it sketches?
Yeah,
and
it's that. And there's no background. It's just guy, like just dick.
just a
But it's a very Eric Bragg hit me up once. He didn't know. He's just like posting like, oh my god, follow this account. He didn't know who it was.
look at the end of the microphone. Did you see that?
Like that.
Oh my
The end of the
didn't-
microphone's a ball. Also.
He didn't.
just noticed
Bragg
that.
hit me up. Bragg hit up the account and it was like, dude, like this is sick. Like he's like we're broing down or whatever. And he's like, dude, where are you from? He's like, can you do one of me or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I'll do one. I did one that night. And he's like, well, can you do one like holding a ticket and like a pool cue because he's doing some pool party thing.
Yeah,
for-
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He didn't even know it was you.
I did it, and he's like, "Yo, dude, where are you from?" And then I just videoed myself drawing on the app, and I sent it to him. He's like, "You're kidding me."
No,
So, like,
That's so tight.
yeah, he had no idea.
that's
so funny.
amazing.
So, yeah, but it's like that's not what the brand's going to be about.
No. Oh, this is separate.
Yeah,
This could turn into a big thing. Though. It sounds like it is.
Well, I mean,
Just backdoor it, you know?
oh yeah,
Backdoor brand.
I have.
I mean, you
I
could
have,
grow this thing from small to big.
I have plenty of material on that Instagram, so it's there. But there, you guys are.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you
Barbarians.
so much.
Wow.
I've never been so honored.
Are you going
And-
to Instagram this too?
Sure.
You're gonna-
yeah,
please.
And I, because I didn't know the reaction was good, I bought a $4 frame so that you guys would feel guilty if you hated it, that you could put it up
This is
somewhere.
Are you kidding me? This is going in the background
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Wow,
so-
we may even make a T-shirt or a mug out of this.
Yeah.
You know,
I was trying to get a mug made, but the transfer guys at the Del Amo Mall are terrible.
Oh, are they? Yeah,
Make into a comic strip.
Yeah, I know. I want to.
Wow.
I want to.
that's pretty good.
The
idea,
nightclub
too.
comic.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying like
Oh, just,
Barbarians in general.
Yeah, there. Actually, yeah, it's way better.
But it's like it's ball bear, almost brains.
Yeah.
It's like ball bearings, ball bearings. Is that right? Is that am I on it? Am I close?
Barbarians.
Barbarian. Like a
Barbarians.
barbarian.
Barbarians.
Ball bearing.
like
I thought it was just ball bearings.
No,
yeah,
like,
that's what I thought it was.
No.
That's right, right?
yeah, my friend Sean was like, you should start a bearing company.
Barbarians.
Yeah.
In the sky.
Yeah.
Listen, I think you're going to be super successful with your board company. This is, I mean, if you do art like this, I can't even imagine.
yeah,
what-
the board brand, it won't.
I know. I'm just saying, though,
I mean,
this is, you're a great artist.
Thank
is
you.
what I'm saying.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know,
Likeness is nice, though.
it's,
right?
it, like I said,
You
the
nailed
skin
it.
color,
That'd be
you nailed it,
A
bro.
good wood company for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, this would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you getting balls from inspiration from anyone particular?
No. This is just, I've had people ask me to do.
They said you picture their nuts?
No, they're themselves. And I do, because they're all shaven, obviously.
Yeah, they're just, right.
Unless,
Right.
you some hairy-ass guy asked me to do one, and I'll probably do it hairy. But yeah, people just, because the people on there just...
They're not DMing you.
No. They don't, they're
Okay.
The people that DM me on there are just stoked that they just think it's hilarious.
Right.
And that's the people that I want because I think it's hilarious. That's why I do it.
One is just like people sending you photos.
And I only do it. I only do it in my spare time. You know what I mean? Like if I have to. And now that I'm doing the art and stuff for this brand, I'm trying to get sorted. It's kind of taking the back burner a little bit, but I whipped that on for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
it. Thank
amazing.
you, bro. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. Raj, can we put this up somewhere, bro? In the background? Do we have any room up there?
Yeah.
He's gonna take down Big
That's
Pink.
stolen.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Tommy brought it
Yeah,
back.
he brought it back.
Oh, is this going to get removed? You could probably put it there.
What?
That cover.
That cover's sick. What? Anthony Acosta shot that?
No, he did. It's one of my favorite covers.
That's great,
Yeah.
bro. I've never had a cover.
Never.
No. These fucking companies don't give me covers, man.
Any
companies.
Meg.
Huh?
Any Meg.
Nothing.
Catalog.
No.
No no.
Can you believe that?
That's terrible. Well, you
If
guys.
you make a catalog, can I be on the cover of it,
at
please?
Thomas
Will you?
Balls,
at
Yeah.
this point, the way that you guys' show is going, you guys are going to need a catalog. You got like lookbook and stuff.
Jesus, man, I'm telling you.
Not
I'm
back
putting
room.
anything, I'm going to put myself on the cover. When does this come out, man? When is your Brainchild? When are you gonna? Do you have a date, or is it kind of just whenever?
There's no set date yet. I think it's going to come out in the next month or so.
Next
So it's
month
going to
or
be
so.
it's going to be fairly soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the part goes online for indie on.
Well,
It
it's
should be
already
out.
out.
It should
It's
be out
already
now.
out.
Yeah, it should be out now.
Yeah.
And then if you missed it, it's going to be on the independent YouTube on the 20th, I think.
Oh yeah.
So
So
they'll-
they're gonna do it on Thrasher and then the
'cause-
independent
Because
website.
after 30 seconds on Thrasher, it's going to be at the very bottom of the page.
You know
And
what? I just thought of something, bro. We're teammates.
Are
You know
we?
what I'm saying? Yeah, independent.
Oh yeah, we are.
Skate independent trucks.
There we go.
There you
Teammates.
go.
Chris Haslam. I didn't even think about that.
That's awesome.
I feel connected.
Are you in the
already,
book?
yeah.
What was it?
Are
Am
you
I?
in the book?
I better be. God damn it.
What about? Have you had an indie ad?
Yes.
So you might be in the ad book.
I've been in the ad. I've had an independent ad for sure.
What ad
Are
was it,
you in
Chris?
the ad book?
If I'm not in that goddamn ad book, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody.
Chris, do you remember what the ad was?
Fakey nose grind at UCLA.
Oh, the ledge off stair.
Yeah, I think Sean
Oh,
Peterson shot
yeah.
that. Sean
Sick.
Peterson.
So it's a good chance you didn't land it.
Burn.
Yeah, no, it was
Oh,
in.
wow.
It was in.
It was in the video.
It was in. Yeah, right.
Yeah. It was a sequence, right?
No, it was a still.
Oh, okay.
Still photo. Fakey nose grind on the ledge, and it was in. It was in. Yeah, right.
That was a
The
long
video.
ledge, yeah.
That was a great ledge.
That was
They had
super
some
sick.
good ledges up at UCLA.
Was that a super long? No.
It was long. It
But
had
you did
bricks on the side
yeah.
of it.
You did
Went
the
out ledge.
courthouse one too, right?
5-0 and nose grind.
That was gnarly.
Super gnarly.
There's that one, yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that was very sick.
Raj, you
No,
can't
no.
find me in there?
I don't know.
When I can't, I'm the host. I got to host a show, bro. I can't look for myself.
You should
Maybe
have
I
that
can
page
here.
folded.
We'll take a commercial break right now while I find my ad. While I'm trying to look for my ad, that's probably not even in here. God damn
I saw
it.
Kenny in there.
Yeah, saw Kenny Anderson. I'll rip that page out. I was super honored to have an independent ad. Like super honored.
Hell
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's
Hell
not
yeah.
something that you get ads, you're stoked on the ad. I got an ad in a magazine. I get an independent ad.
Yeah.
Like I was like super like stoked and honored.
They don't give those
You
to
know?
anyone.
You
You
know
know?
what I'm saying?
Only the
Well,
riders.
Yeah,
Only the
yeah,
good
that's true.
writers.
I for a moment there, I was writing. There was a like Reynolds, Costin,
Mm-hmm.
Rowley, someone else. They all and myself were the only ones with Indy Pro trucks.
Oh, wow.
Seriously.
Yeah, and however I got in there with those guys, I have no idea.
You're a big pro skateboarder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
are.
I don't know.
You
I don't
are.
know. Hey, hold on. I don't know because, well, to myself, those dudes, those are the dudes that, like, while I was in Singapore, like I was, Tony Hawk had and Danny Way. I think Danny Way had one too. But talk about feeling honored to be a part of something,
Yeah.
and to have a pro truck that not many people get.
Totally. Dude.
With this lineup of dudes that have them at this same time.
It's a big lineup.
Well, I know. That's what I
Heavy.
mean.
Heavy lineup.
For me, when I felt like doing underflips and like late flips and all this, and these, Reynolds and Rowley is like 360ing off, over canyons, and, Costin is Costin. And, it was just humbling to be able to be like, oh my God, people having my back like that is
for sure
is awesome.
It's always cool when they had the ads with like everyone's name on it.
Well, the big book, the inside cover is just all the indie bar logos with
names.
Yeah, I thought that was always
so many dudes on there.
When I was looking at like in school, I'd be looking through. I'm like, fuck, it's so sick. All those dudes.
Yeah,
are
well,
so
it's like the Spitfire logo when you have they have their own
personalized one.
Yeah,
that's all cool.
I'm just not that special, bro. They didn't put me in the book.
You got an ad though.
Look at this. They put Chris Troy in here, not me. Can you believe that shit? Unbelievable.
Oh, so you couldn't find it?
I didn't put it. They didn't put me in there.
He's lying.
What do you mean I'm lying?
He never had an ad.
Sure wasn't a chocolate ad?
I'll pull up the goddamn ad right now, man. With the new company coming out, right? Brainchild. You got the new. Well, you got the Instagram Barbarians.
Yeah,
Barbarians.
Yeah.
Barbarians of the Sack. You should maybe rename.
It could be a video.
Yeah.
It'd be my book. I wanted to make a book of them when I get enough. I was like 300 is not enough, but
300. That's a lot.
I want to make some sort of book, zine or something.
You should make dolls.
I thought about that too.
Wow.
So you got to get your website together. You got to get it's a whole thing, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of work to create a company.
Yeah, I know.
I mean?
I'm just stoked because it's an outlet. It's a different where to use a different part of my brain.
There you go.
I mean, I'm still going to be skating and doing all that stuff,
right.
but I'm going to be utilizing this time that I'm not skating, doing something else.
And you know what, bro? You could be anywhere in the goddamn world with your computer.
That was a major thing for me too, because I didn't know what I was going to do after I left home, because I knew what was going to happen. I knew I wouldn't be able to get a new board sponsor, or I knew I'd be able to get boards and shoes.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't know if I was going to be able to get like a legitimate sponsor, and then after a while, I didn't know if I wanted one, because I've already.
I was going to say.
You know what I mean? I know the game. We know the game already. We just had 20 years of doing it.
Exactly.
I know everything I've ever thought I wanted to accomplish in skating, I've done tenfold. Mm-hmm. So what is it that I want out of skating? And what is it I want out of a new sponsor? And it especially these days with definitely not getting on Nike and all these things. There's no money anyway, so I might as well just do it for fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what and that's what this part was. And that's why I tried to be like, you know what? This is a different time now for me. I'm going to try to eliminate some of these, two tricks at the same spot rules, and, try to not be so controlling over because, I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of how Rodney makes his videos, but they're fairly regimented in terms of before he's even actually gone out and skated.
Okay.
And I wasn't too crazy with that, but I did take a bit of it about being pretty controlling of what people see of me, because that is what I have that people get to see of me. Yeah. And that's the one thing I can control. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I want all control over that. Yeah, yeah. Especially that's why when I go into editing and stuff, sometimes it's, the editors are like, dude, what are you doing? Let me and it's not that I don't trust what they're doing, you know what I mean? Oh, well, in 5-incher, I had to trust what they were doing. I had to trust what Colin Kennedy was doing, which is easy.
He's a great guy.
Because he's amazing.
Very trustworthy.
But I couldn't be there because I was in the hospital with a kidney failure, 2 kidney failures.
Oh my, what?
And that was both of them.
At the
at the same time.
What happened, bro? Why?
Because it was none of this. But I don't drink coffee. I didn't drink sodas. I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol. Okay. I don't drink any of this stuff. I just water and like juice and stuff and Gatorade.
But when you had this going on,
it's all the same. But I didn't drink it. But anyway, it was the coming to the end of the 5-incher video. Mm-hmm. And usually you tie the video in with like random barracks things, or like random, the little.
You gotta do the United Nations.
Yeah, all this stuff.
So kind of
build the hype.
I felt like I was on my own doing all this stuff, because at the start, 5-incher was a video part that I had that I was ready to put out, and Willow had a part, and we're like, we should do all right, me and you, and then almost got it, and we're like, no, we're doing the whole video.
So you got to wait for everyone else to
So I
catch up.
waited for everyone else. I filmed a little bit here and more, a little bit here and there. But I had to wait for everything. So then I felt, and I felt like I had so much time on my hands to wait for that. I was like the only one trying to do the barracks thing or trying to do the, whatever little video to go, to roll up to it or all this stuff. So I was in the barracks.
Jungle 6-pack and
all that stuff. I felt like I was the only one doing it or thinking about it because they were filming their parts and I was done.
You were already.
And I was going heavy at the barracks one day, trying to like, all right, I got to do a banging or something because I don't think I've had one, I think, mini one, and I was trying to do one. Yeah, I was trying to do it, and just going hard at it, like trying to get all these moves. And just one day, man, I was in there trying to. I think what's crazy. I think Matt Miller was in there that day. I don't know if he knows what happened after that day, but I was just trying to skate. I skated hours. Filming with Chase, just trying to get, not doing anything, like just, oh God, killing myself, not drinking water or anything. And then I was like, dude, after a few hours, I got to stop, man. I'm feeling crazy. So I went over and I like drank a little bit and went to take a piss, and it was like Pepsi. It looked like,
really?
It
like
looked
brown.
Yeah,
like,
it was like brown. And this is, I didn't.
Scary.
I didn't know anything. I knew that it wasn't normal. But I didn't know the process of what happens. Where I was in stages of dehydration, all this stuff. So I was like, oh God. And I figured it would, if I was fully dehydrated, it would just not piss anymore. So I kept, it was all right. I would still being able to piss and stuff, but I was staying in Torrance at the time again, and like I couldn't sleep, so I had to I was bending over the only way I could sleep was to crunch over the bed,
like fetal position,
well, like
almost.
kneeling next to the bed and sleeping, kneeling down on the bed, and I was like, that's probably not good. So I flew back to Canada.
Would you?
You drink water at any time those 3 days?
I did, yeah, I did. Well, because after I was like, oh God, so I pounded Gatorade and like all this salty.
You're thinking electrolytes,
eating
the whole thing.
Eating like salty fries and everything.
The salt's not helping.
Well, again, I didn't know what I figured, usually when you lose Gatorade, let's bring your salts, bring electrolytes back. So I was like, this is a good idea. And then I flew back to Canada. This is the third or fourth day, whatever. Okay. And I went back and still feeling like it was just feeling bad. I wasn't like dying. Yeah. And I guess again, 2-3 days passed there. And my buddy was like, dude, we're going to go out. I never played tennis. He's like, we're going to go play tennis. I was like, sweet, I'll come. And then I walked across the street from this restaurant. And you ever see what was the Transworld video where there's like a homeless guy out front of that 3 block in SF that was like dancing out? Was it like, the 3 block of the kink.com 3 block or whatever?
Oh yeah, 3 down.
Yeah.
When there was like a homeless guy in one of the Transworld videos, I think it was Free Your Mind or something, where he's like walking around like a zombie almost.
Tweaked, yeah.
I ran across the street and that happened to me. And I was like,
what do you mean you started going?
Like my legs gave out and I fumbled into the middle of the street because I was jaywalking and the car's like, whoa, and I was like, oh my God. And then I got back to my buddy's place. He's like, you should probably go to the hospital because that's what you came up here. You probably think something's wrong.
Wow.
He's like, we're going to go play tennis. I was like, yeah, I'll meet you after. And then I went to the hospital because it was walking distance from his house. And I got in there and it was like empty, obviously. And the guy took my blood and I was like waiting. And he's like, dude, you are so messed up.
That's it. Yeah. That's what he said.
No, yeah.
You were messed up.
Well, he was a younger guy, but he used different language. Yeah. And he took me into the emergency room and he sat me on the gurney and was like, he told me what was up, and I was like, oh my God. And he's like, dude, usually people with your levels of creatine and potassium and stuff are in a coma for a week already.
No way.
But because I have been religiously skating for 20 years, not every single day.
Your body is
and I was in the sun in the LA, and it was the skin was they didn't know what the hell was going on, and because I was skating, that was the only reason why my body had been able to handle it more than other people. But once I got in there, it was like So
what did they do? They gave you an IV.
Well, they gave me 3 saline solution bags.
That's insane.
Right after, and they were like, okay, now you got to try and take a piss, and it was like this much. And they're like, oh my God, they keep doing it. And at night, I remember I stayed over there. I stayed at the hospital for like 8 days, And I walked around this emergency room, that I was in, that I got in there. And on the screen of the computer, it had everybody that was in there that they just got checked in, So nobody was in there. It was like
Just sniffing around.
2 in the morning, but the screen was up already,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
these other people obviously were not walking around because they had other things like,
Yeah,
like
of
mangled.
course.
So I was just looking at everybody and they're just like, yeah, this dude, the gut is, something happened with his arm and it's like hanging off and then like somebody's ankle was mangled and they just, on mine, it just said my name and it said, looked unwell.
That's it. Looked well.
And they didn't know what was up, So, like the next day I got put into a room, into one of the room that it was a room with 2 beds. So
Okay.
but it was a long room. I was close to the door and then there's a curtain and there's a bed here. So if you walked in and didn't know, there was another guy in there.
Yeah.
But they were telling me what was going on. And I was like, oh my God, it could be one of 3 things. 2 of them, you need a kidney transplant.
Oh my God.
And one of them, it'll get back to normal once we figure out how to fix it. But we don't know yet. And my brother had kidney disease. So he had to get his kidney taken out and my mom had to give him one of hers.
So you're already thinking like, well, my mom only has one left. Like I can't.
So they were thinking as well. They're like, oh, so you have kidney things in your family. So they were, 2 of them was one of the ones that my brother has, know. And the third one was this one called acute tubular necrosis or whatever, ATN, which is like fighters. If you're going on fighters again, when they go down a weight class and they lose a lot of water weight, but usually they have like physicians and stuff there to be like, you are screwed up, you go in. And
Right. Wow.
Or if you go on a complete bender and do cocaine and like wasted for, 2 weeks and you just are just torched. Those are the other. So I was
oh my God.
one of those, but you eventually get better. You know what I mean?
So you were in there for 8 days.
Yeah. Doing dialysis. I had 5 days of dialysis where they stuck the tube down and because you're
flushing it out, right?
Well, it was doing the kidney work so that the kidney could repair itself.
Crazy.
So that once the kidney repaired itself, it could filter the blood again. But I remember and then I had to do biopsies to do about my brother one because they wanted to check to see if it was the same as my brother. So they had to take 3 pieces of
hereditary.
They had to take like 3 little pieces of my kidney out to test it.
Jeez, dude.
And when I was when I was in the hospital in the bed, the guy beside me was this old guy. He had HIV.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was talking to him about it, and he was one of the major. He was like very into the gay movement in Vancouver scene in the 60s or 70s or something. So he was in for some thing that he had going on, but he had the thing closed. So they would take the syringe, the needle out of my arm because they were putting whatever medicine they were putting in. This one time they just took it out and then the nurse left, and then this other nurse came in and was like, oh, hey, what's up? And they like started doing like massaging and ready to put the needle again. I was like, they just took that one out. He's like, are you sure you should put it in there? And he's like, oh yeah, you've been scheduled for some sort of injection. And then the guy was like, hey, I think that's for me, or something like that.
Right.
And she like went around the corner. He's like, oh, you didn't even know that he was in there. So that I don't know what it was going to be.
See, that's the thing though. It's great to question.
It happened twice because he moved out because whatever he had got better. And then another girl came in and it happened. I don't know what she had. She had something going on and it happened twice. It almost got hers too. It was going to get it put in my arm and she walked to the bathroom. She's like, didn't you just get one taken out? I was like, yeah. It's like, I was supposed to get one. Is that for me? And the lady was like, yeah.
You never know, man. That's what I'm saying. It's great. You have to question this. If you're unsure.
What's it for?
Yeah, question it.
Yeah. Well, obviously
nobody's perfect.
I didn't know what
people
was
make
going on.
mistakes.
You had no idea.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Yeah. They heard it. And they were like, that's me. Well, the crazy thing is at the end of it all, like the chick at the doctor that I had was, they did the biopsy and everything. They got the results back. And I was like, oh God, this is like day 8. I was off the dialysis machine, which is an intense thing to go through because some people have it for years.
Wow.
I had it for 5 days and I was like, it was like an emotional thing to have to deal with that.
I bet.
Because you'd have to go down to a room and hook up at 7 a.m. and get your thing filtered for 4 hours sitting in a chair. People go there every day and do every other day and do it for years. And
you hear about the dialysis.
It's insane. But I was off it anyway, and they had all the tests done, and the doctor comes in. She's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get the results today, but I got to go pick my dog up at the vet, so I'll just give you a call when we figure out what it is."
Like you could go,
No,
or
she was like, "I'll just give you a call and tell you."
Hospital were you in?
Tell you
giving
what,
people the same shots.
I'll tell you what it is when I get to the vet or whatever. I was like,
dude.
"You're gonna go and tell me if I need a kidney transplant when you're picking your dog up." At
I
the
know.
vet."
Yeah, just just text me. You know.
Yeah. So I was like, "All right, whatever."
So you were fine though.
Yeah, and then she called me. She's like, "Yeah, it's ATN, so you just need to follow these things. You'll get back to then you see come in for checkups to see if your levels are back, and you'll get back to normal."
Jeez. Listen, drink your water, boys and girls.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Well, I was sitting in the hospital bed, and I was like, I cannot believe all I drink is water and juice, and I didn't drink enough of it, and that's what's going to get me. So,
Well,
I gotta stay hydrated.
and that's why I had to trust Colin Kennedy editing my part. Yeah, so
Were you filming that 2 Up stuff at that time?
no, that's another story too. Oh, that's hilarious. That's a funny one. Those ones because I love those contests. By the way, those Manu contests that
Yeah,
they do.
because you win.
Well,
them.
yeah, 'cause
Well,
you-
not that's just a bonus. You know what I mean? I like them because
It's interesting.
creativity.
Well, it's all about what's in your own head.
Yeah.
And everybody has the same thing to deal with there. And it's all about whatever is in your mind, and that's what happens. And not so much that it compares it to everybody else, but just it's interesting to see how people look at the same objects that you looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do what they do on it, but it's how it's different than what you did, which is awesome. And how it relates to you see them in the street skating, and how their street skating, it looks like they're doing in there. So it was awesome to do. Winning it was a bonus.
Yeah.
But actually, I did the barracks thing. I went on a trip. I barged this Imperial Motion clothing trip with Jose Rojo and Jimmy Carlin to Mexico City. So I was sleeping in the floor of their hotel room there. And in the hotel floor room, I would wake up in the morning. I'd be like, "Oh," then you guys itchy. Are you guys getting bit by stuff? They're like, "No, we're chilling." They're on the beds,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh God, is it bed bugs or something?"
no.
Crazy. And then that happened to her a week, and they were fine, and I was just dying. I asked the lady, she's like, "Yeah, we fumigate every couple of weeks." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I think about it later, why the hell are they fumigating they must have something. So I flew back to LA where I got my car, and then I drove up to Watsonville, but I stopped in Big Sur and I camped in Big Sur.
Okay.
I went the next day to Watsonville, and dude, I started flaring up. I was like, "Oh my God."
What, just red rash?
Yeah.
Like a rash?
Scabies.
Rashes, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" And then I was like, "Dude, I brought something back." I threw it on my clothes, and I annihilated the back of my truck, sprayed it. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then 2 days later, I went to the doctor up there, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's poison oak."
On the ground?
I got it in Big Sur. I never experienced it like that before, and I was like, "This is insane." 5 bottles of calamine lotion all over. And then the next 2 Up, I did the same thing. The only 2 times I've ever got annihilated by poison oak was the days after I filmed 2 Up, and it was different. It was different. It wasn't in Big Sur. It was in up to 5. I was going up to 5, and I stopped at one of the truck stops, and the rest stops, and my dog went into the thing. And I was like, "Oh, whatever, I'm wearing shorts or whatever." And I was just like, "Oh, cool." I forgot. And then I got back to Watsonville again. I was like, "Oh my God.
I did it again. Did you win both of them?
Daywan won the first one, and I won the second 2.
It's always you too, man.
No. How much you get?
10.
10 G's.
Yeah.
Anyone match that?
No, I didn't have any sponsor to match it.
Is anyone matching stuff anymore? I feel like that's
Well,
not
I'm
a
sure
thing.
Nigel's probably got some matching thing going on.
Yeah, I feel like Nike.
Nobody's
probably
matching my winnings.
Oh, Brainchild.
Brainchild. Yeah, I'll pay myself.
You can match it.
Yeah, I just like doing that stuff because it's controlled environment. It's it
Gets the mind going.
Yeah, you can
fuck with
shit. And I just have ideas that I think about all the time, and I don't mind moving stuff around. I don't mind lifting heavy stuff to make something cool.
What about if other people go in? Do you like, don't let the other people see what I'm doing?
I like try not to get people to see anything they're doing ever.
Yeah.
That's why I pretty much skate by myself all the time.
Well, that makes sense, to be honest, because you see someone else doing something, you're like, oh, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah.
And you see the same spot, and you're like, what?
Well, I know people like I'll see when I would go in there, I would see marks on certain things in the thing, and on the ramps and stuff. And
He's trying to CSI it, put it together. Well, this looks like a this is a
I would walk in there and be like, if I was gonna do this like straight away, this is what I would make. And then I step back and I'm like, I'm not making that, and I make something else. You know what I mean? And then that turns into something terrible, and then I move them more around, and then it turns into some mousetrap thing that I can't believe I'm trying, and then it comes together, and then something works. That's usually how everything works for me. Like the tricks, like I'll spaz on, like go there, try to do something, not be able to do it, and get bummed out, and think of something easier, and then usually the something easier that I have is just some weird 1 foot, like the 1-footed ollie over the bar at Bezos in Barcelona in the round 3 video. The one where I did the Ron Allen ollie over that thing.
That thing sucks.
It's not an easy spot to skate. And I went there to do, actually it's funny, I went to do a double kickflip fast plant over a foot plant.
On the bar. Yeah.
Double kick with foot plant over the bar, and I couldn't do it. And I was like, God damn it, I flew all the way here, I can't do it. But I had this move, and I was like, well, I'll just try this, because you fall over that thing, you do that anyway.
Yeah.
You flail over it. So I did it, and it worked out better. But there was an old 401 contest, Sobe sponsored.
Okay.
And which is crazy. You film a trick and you submit it to 401, right?
Yeah.
And it was a versus when they changed the layout of the magazine, the video. It was like a booklet, you know what I mean? They had a 401 versus, and every issue was the next round of the versus. So I entered that thing, and I would do these stupid tricks. I can't believe I beat some of the dudes I did, because, Tim was like switch crooking half cat flip out on a picnic table.
Okay.
And Flo Marfang was like, nollie 180 heel, fakey manny, something out at parallel, crazy moves. And I was doing like, I had, against Flo Marfang, I had the same spot. I did like some weird switch manual, but switch ollied, and I back foot 1-footed manual, like backwards. I think I might have even touched. I don't even know. But I beat him with it, and I felt so lame about it, because I was like, dude, his trick is so sick. And, mine's just some weird like daft. I feel like a rollerblader.
Are people voting on this?
Yeah, people would submit, and they would vote online and stuff. And like
Gotcha.
that. But fast forward, the last move was me versus Lutzka in the very end of it.
No way.
And I double kickflip foot planted the Bezos bar.
Yeah.
In white pants. My last time I ever wore white pants.
Okay.
And Lutzka front boarded the Frost kink rail.
Oh, yeah.
And I got $25,000 for that last trick.
Boom.
Wow.
We won it.
Yeah. Those type of contests I love, because I have time to do what I can do, and put something together and feel confident with what I'm doing.
It's amazing.
So it felt awesome. I mean, $25,000 for one trick.
Perfect.
Is pretty insane.
Yeah.
That's the biggest payout I've ever got.
But every round was a different trick.
And you get paid for every round.
Okay. Oh,
every round you get paid.
Yeah. So I got like, 38 grand or something.
That is cool.
Yeah. It was pretty sick.
You're like, when are we doing this again?
I know.
But
then you set a standard. Then once you do it once, you set a standard. That was like,
of course.
That was like the 2-up. You set a standard of this is what people expect. Cheese and crackers. That's why I never did a second one.
Yeah.
Day one
could do yourself. Yeah.
Day one could do a second one in a second.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't want to do one, because that was so organic, that video, that you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Once
you start trying,
you can't beat the how it went as the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I was asking if it started off as just a fun mini ramp
and
then going into what it was or what it became.
It was all fun, because it was a good time in my skating, and being able to skate with Day One so closely like that. I mean, I learned a lot from him, and it was fun like that. And it was always fun. You know, you had everybody in there. It was so, I mean, skating, you know, filming, it is what it is. We didn't have to go. I didn't skate street for like 3 months.
There you go.
But it was fun, but it was like there was like a thing in your back of your head saying that, all right, this is, you know, your name's on it now.
Yeah.
Once
yeah,
once your name is on it, it's like, all right, this is a reflection of what you do now.
Yeah, it's a project and you're working on it. Yeah.
And I know that when Daewon's name is on it, Daewon's not going to go half-assed.
No.
So I had to try and keep up, and
You
I
did
tried.
a fucking great job, bro.
Thank you, thank
Because that
you,
video
yeah.
is amazing. All the videos you've been in,
Thank you,
even the
yeah.
new one you just came out.
Yeah.
I got to go watch that again. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just stoked that you know, the people that were there to film me were patient enough to film me, because I do take a long time doing the stuff I do. And
I mean, I'm the same way, man.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. I mean,
Roger's lost a lot of hair.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to film me. You know?
Have we ever filmed anything besides
Just in Dubai.
Just besides that stuff?
That was like the only trip.
Yeah.
Listen, bro.
Here
Yeah.
it comes.
This has been amazing. I mean, it's incredible. It literally made me want to go back and watch some of these videos and stuff, and especially the new one. I'm telling you, dude. Kelly,
Yeah, dude. It was
how crazy is this
It's
guy?
Completely nuts.
Yeah.
It's just
Unbelievable.
We watched it here too, and we were all like, "What the fuck?"
I know, seriously. No, you're
amazing.
super talented, bro.
Thank you,
Big
man.
fan.
Thank you.
Big fan. And dude, hey, good luck with everything, man.
Thank you.
Brainchild, Benoit, what's it called? The balls?
Barbarians.
Yeah,
What
Barbarians.
is it called? Barbarians?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the illustration.
great,
It's
I know.
amazing.
Thanks for drawing me as a dick. Yeah. It's
I love it,
Yeah.
dude.
It's incredible, man. We're gonna cherish that. Did you sign it? You did, kind of did, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's the
It's a print
no, yeah, I just wrote it. It's keeping my low profile. You know, what I'm saying?
moniker. Well, low profile's blown, man.
Yeah, now it
unless
is,
you want me
yeah.
to bleep everything out.
But
But,
it's good. It's good.
no, seriously, thank you, dude. Chris Haslam, man. Listen,
Thank you. Yeah.
pleasure as always. You know how fun it is to skate with this guy, Raj?
It's a lot of fun.
We used to skate all the time at the old girl park. I gotta
Yeah,
go to the
yeah.
new one and skate with you.
Please.
Yeah?
I skate by myself there, so
We'll go do a couple tricks.
please. They got that new, the new concept there, so.
Boom. Can we give you some 9 Club stuff?
You
man?
can.
Can we get
Yes.
Kelly? Will you please?
What size are you?
I am a large t-shirt.
large.
A large? What do you do? Were you beanies, hats?
I do
Well, you're wearing a
beanies,
beanie right
yeah.
now. I don't think I've ever seen you in a hat. No.
I look like a tool in a hat, so I never.
It's just not a.
Yeah,
not
that's,
a
well, like one of those. No,
Yeah.
I can't run those.
you can't run that.
No,
Get newer fitted.
no.
What
no.
about a beanie with a little ball on the top?
How you
of
do
it?
that? I
Yeah?
run that.
Okay.
But the straight, even baseball hat, I can't even. Do.
No baseball hats.
You ever just shave your head and wear swishy pants again?
Well, it's funny because when I was doing this video, because I was like, oh, this is like, I thought it was going to be like the last. Like I was like, I'm over it. I don't want to.
Yeah, but once you get done with that one, now you're pumped.
Well, now I'm hoping that with the Brainchild thing that's coming out, like I'll be fired up to get, which I am, because I mean I've shown a couple, like people have reacted to the video I have now, and they've been pretty positive about it. So it kind of rejuvenates my inspiration and motivation, because nowadays
Listen,
it's lost.
I think when you get older, it's
Yeah.
like that passion will come and go. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And you really sometimes you gotta dig deep.
yeah.
You gotta dig deep, man.
Well, I just find that, like, especially how skating is everywhere, like on your phone. It's just
We're over consuming it.
I mean, some people love it. Like the generation now, they love it. I can't do it because I feel like there's no the footage isn't sacred anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's I don't get the same satisfaction because I don't not so much because people never tell me how good or bad it is. It's because there's no nobody really, I feel like, cherishes their footage anymore. They're always just
Throw it out there. Yep.
Yeah.
quantity,
Dumping it out, yeah.
quantity all the time. Even
Right.
brands, brands are like, I want this has to be good. And if you have a standard that you want to keep yourself at, it kills you because you can't do it like that
Totally.
at the rate that they want it. So it's like, what is? I got so over it, and that's why Instagram like stresses me out, because I'm like, I mean, oh my god. I mean, I can pull inspiration off of it, but the majority of the time, it just feels like it's just draining me of everything that I like learned how to do when I was skating without Instagram.
Exactly.
I don't skate like that. So
You just got to do you.
That's
Got to do you.
that's, I'm doing my thing.
Pointing to the penises.
I'm doing, hopefully with Brainchild, I can, just do what I want. And there's other outlets there for me with the art stuff.
I think it's amazing. I can't wait to see what you do with that.
Thanks.
Like I said, just judging by the Barbarians, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Well, it rolls off the tongue now.
Barbarians. Listen, bro. Yeah. 9 Club beanie for you, man. Huh?
Oh, thank you.
It's a black beanie.
Perfect.
I don't know. Listen, if you don't wear it,
I'll wear it.
Go trade it into the shop
perfect.
for something you like. Maybe a. Is this long sleeve, Kelly? Long sleeve black tee.
Perfect.
You want a green shirt?
I'm sticking with black.
Okay.
Fine, yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
I've made a few mistakes in my time.
We were. And look at the Switch Flip Manny mug.
Oh, beautiful.
You said you don't drink coffee or tea, but you know what? Maybe you could put some
water.
Put some water in there. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, I know. I need
Wake up in the morning.
Some of these.
Put some water in that
perfect.
Switch Flip Manny mug.
I didn't have enough time, but I was gonna try to animate a Barbarian of him doing this.
That would be amazing.
I was like, damn, I don't have a sequence, so I tried to screen grab some of Mark's 4-hour loop. And I was like, I do not have enough time for this.
It's a lot. Well, Lance Mountain made me
I know, that's sweet.
Maybe a flip book.
I know. I saw that when he was on there. That's genius.
The Barbarians could have replaced Lance Mountains.
No one could replace Lance's stuff.
Let me tell you something,
true. That's true.
I could have been on the shelf beside it, but
listen, man. Here's a 9 Club hoodie.
Thank you, man.
And I don't know if you're a pin guy. I'm looking at that. Patches. You're a patches
guy.
Anyway, here's a pin.
I have a collection of pins.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I had that Pendejo pin.
Pendejo, is that like a brand that makes them?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome pins, to be honest. He'll do like Costin 1S pins or like old shoe pins.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, they do a lot of dope pins, but they made us some 9 Club pins. They're great. They're great.
Some Barbarian pins, you know what I'm saying?
Barbarian. Oh. I'll give you the details if you need them. I'll give you the hookup.
Yeah.
We know some people.
He's down in Torrance.
Is he?
Is he?
Or like
Carson?
Manhattan Beach or
Manhattan Beach?
He's close.
He's close.
He's closer to you, yeah.
LA. Barbarian pins coming soon.